just shows to my leadership ability and able to kind of have my team buy into, what we're trying to accomplish. So.
You had a chance to against the Lions, and if so, were you able to talk about playing finally with Dan Campbell's former NFL tight end?
Yeah, I had a formal interview yesterday. I think it went well. We definitely talked about my, on some tape that we went over, and but overall.
Catching the ball, running routes, but what's on tape you've ever made?
There's a few this year on some counter plays, some gap plays where I was able to spring the running back open for a touchdown. Against Colorado, we had one. It wasn't just me, obviously, but I had, a good block on that play to spring him open for a touchdown. There was a power play against Boston College this year where I had a nice little pancake touchdown. But no, it's hard to pick out just, one play. I mean, it's fun to be physical and win a point of attack and just being able to play with a lot of effort and finish plays.
Thomas, are there any changes that you would make to the 12-team college football playoff?
I don't think so. I think it's honestly kind of too new, I feel like, to kind of make any changes. Maybe in a few years to kind of see how it all plays out. I kind of liked it this year. I thought it was good. It was a long season. I think it helped, though, kind of for the people and the teams that were in it to kind of emulate an NFL season. But I think it was good. I just think it's a long 2 years for the rookies. There's no problem with that, I guess, but it makes the 2 years long.
Last question. Nebraska program under Coach hasn't done a lot of changes for the better. You mentioned having to pick teams almost in a fantasy football perspective. Who are some players that are going to come this year that you look at from wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, you think are really going to excel in the Nebraska program?
Yeah, you mean as transfers? Or just in general?
Yeah, the guys who you think we should keep an eye on.
Yeah, obviously, Dylan's going to be really successful at the quarterback position. I think that they got some transfers in wide receivers that I think are going to be pretty successful. We have a lot of talent in the O-line group, a lot of experience in the O-line group. We have some tight ends that are coming back that I think are going to be successful. And Luke and Heinrich, and I think that I think there's almost too many players that are coming back with a lot of experience that are going to be able to help Nebraska be successful next year and carry on the wins and kind of what we had going on at the end of the season.
Thank you.
Talk to the Broncos coaching. I don't know if you had any substance.
It's been a blast so far. Yeah, just getting to be around more tight ends from around the country and kind of hearing how they do things and how it's the same and different to what we did at Georgia Tech is really cool.
You've had a lot of talks about how stacked the tight end group is. How do you kind of rank yourself?
You know what? I have no idea. I'd have to watch the film on everybody and get you a better evaluation there. I feel like I know what my game is, though. I do a really good job blocking guys, blocking all 11 on defense and running good routes underneath and getting yards after the catch. I know what my game is. I don't really know anybody else's.
I don't know how much time you spend reading scouting reports out of yourself on the internet. Probably not that much, but the phrase throwback is mentioned a lot in relation to you. Do you see that, or would you agree with that, or what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I've heard that a bunch from scouts. I've heard kind of true why a good bit, and I think the tight end position in recent years in the NFL has gotten a little bit away from that inline tight end as teams pass more, and I think the NFL is interesting because teams will start passing more, defenses adjust to that, and then they'll get back to the run. It's kind of this big cycle, So it'll be really interesting to see, how what team picks me, uses me, and I wouldn't say necessarily throwback, but it's just kind of the way it goes, the way the league goes.
What was your playing weight this year at Georgia Tech?
I started off the season at 258, and then kind of finished up around 255ish. So. yeah, I feel comfortable playing, at like 250 to 260. I was 250 like every year at Yale.
Yeah.
So.
Coming to Georgia Tech, I mean, how did you feel, making the big leap to the ACC? How did that go for you? Did you, seem like it went pretty well?
Yeah, it went really well. I think, I came in and knew I only had a year to establish good relationships with guys in the locker room. I'm a firm believer that the success of the team, the foundation of that lies with trust. It lies with relationships and, guys getting to know each other. And I felt like to have a voice in the locker room, I first had to earn respect on the field. And, that kind of looked like, doing really well in mat drills, doing really well and competing with the guys in my weight room rack, with the other tight ends, being able to establish the voice there by, lifting heavy weight, pushing guys. And I feel like I did a really good job as the first kind of semester went on. And then into spring ball, making plays, making good blocks, being physical out on the field. Those are just kind of ways that I was able to kind of increase my voice.
Go ahead.
To the weight room, what part of the weight room has helped you the most in your game? What thing do you do has been most translatable?
To the weight room, that's a great question. Boy, I really the Georgia Tech offseason program was just totally awesome. It was a lot different from Yale's, and Yale's a lot more old school. We kind of adopted the old Nebraska Cornhusker methodology. You have these stations, and then you're doing hypertrophy at each station, whereas Georgia Tech, we're doing 3 seconds down and 2 seconds hold at the bottom. So really those front squats I feel like was, if I could liken my explosiveness on the field and my strength in blocking, I would go with the front squats for sure. That solidified me for sure.
What do you
a salty demeanor? On the field for sure. Off the field, off the field I'm a pretty, just enthusiastic Labrador Retriever type guy. I feel like no, on the field, I'm definitely looking to punish. Looking to put my face mask underneath guys' chin strap, and I think that just comes from being coachable. I had a great coach my senior year at Yale, Dave Josephson, who really, I think up until then I was a little bit more passive with my blocks, kind of tried to lock guys out with my arms more, and just really took his training seriously and took his philosophy seriously about 4 points of contact with your chest plate, your face mask, your hands, and just stamping it on the opponent's chin, and that's something that really worked with me. And yeah, that's what was that, sorry?
How do you like calls a little grittier than
It is, yeah. We interestingly enough, we were in pads 4 days a week, as opposed to in the season, as opposed to Georgia Tech 2 or 1.5 practices during the week, which I loved that at Georgia Tech. Kind of take a little bit of the load off you, and felt a lot fresher for the games for sure. What was that? Not too much. There's maybe a hand. I could maybe count on 2 hands. When I lined up in the backfield, right next to Haynes. A couple of plays, I'm lining up there, and we do a lot of shifts in motion, so I'm kind of shifting out to, the slot receiver out of that, or coming across on a block or on counter. We had a couple of variations there, just, really to just get the defense talking and get guys communicating.
I know you.
I would say Jalen Walker for sure. I knew I had a lot on my hands to prepare for, film-wise with him. He's a total thumper, big frame and physical, and I found that over the years, physical guys, they often lack kind of that rangy quickness, and he's a player that has both. He can hit and he can get sideline to sideline.
Jackson.
More on I never faced one counter. It was more so a perimeter. A lot of stuff on the perimeter. A lot of speed sweeps and trying to take good angles to cut them off.
Jackson, could you talk about discuss what the teams are asking you, Jackson, about transferring from Yale and going to Tech, and then we talked about the teams about the hands and being able to catch with your hands and so forth. We're going to show that at the combine workouts for you.
What was the second
2-point question? Hands. First question, transfer. Second question, hands.
Second question, hands. First question, a lot of teams, are obviously interested in kind of my transition. I felt like I would be able to declare it for the draft after, my senior season at Yale, but maybe be like realistically be an undrafted guy, maybe scratch the 7th round. I kind of looked at the transfer portal as a great opportunity to, find myself flourishing in an offense that really kind of catered to my abilities, and I felt like Tech would do a really good job of that. A lot of 12 personnel, tons of NFL shifts and motions, long play calls, to kind of get me right there. And then just to your point on my hands, I have great hands, and you saw that in the Senior Bowl. Had a couple great catches, low balls, had a one-handed grab, and I'm looking to improve that for sure.
Jackson, what's your favorite blocking game on tape? If someone wants to see you as a blocker.
Florida State. Absolutely, Florida State. I think I had probably like 8 or 9 knockdowns that game. Which was
And
awesome.
2 full-on pancakes, yeah.
Yeah. How do you show your... I have not met formally with the Cowboys, no sir. Informally, yes sir. It was great. Yeah, it was great. Kind of just basic questions, it's been the Senior Bowl. We've got another round of informals tonight, and I didn't catch them on Tuesday, so maybe I'll catch them again tonight.
How do you show your Texans at the Senior Bowl?
Yes sir. Yeah, it's been great. Talking to their position coach too. Honestly, that was one of my more favorite conversations. Just kind of him talking about how they do things in their organization. Specifically in the tight end room. Made me really excited for this next step, for sure.
Former teammate Eric Singleton was a high commodity in the transfer portal. What is Auburn getting out of a player like that?
Oh, he's a total speedster, total dog. Yeah, Eric's his competitor. He wins with speed. He runs crisp routes. He's just, he's just an all-out competitor, if I'm being honest. A lot of our game plans surrounded on like heavy run action stuff, because we run the ball a lot. And then just put, for lack of a better term, like our OC, they put the B word up deep to Eric, allow him to run it. I think him having a background in track really helps him. So, yeah, he's a baller.
How do you show your love for the game to the NFL scout?
What was that?
How do you show your love for the game, for the football game, to the NFL scout?
My love?
Yeah.
Just through everything I do, I think that love for the game, comes just as much off the field as it does on the field. It's kind of hard to show that to them, obviously, because they're not with me 24/7. But I think it just comes through watching film a bunch and doing the prehab, doing the stretching, doing the stuff that it is the difference between someone that's a rookie and a pro. You got to be a pro all the time, and that's something that I firmly believe.
Jackson made mention of the difference in the play calls. So your favorite passing concept in the system you were originally in at Yale, and then your favorite one at Georgia Tech. Could you tell us how differently they sounded when you heard them come in?
Yeah, I don't know if I can get into the play calls because I can't. I don't want to.
Without spilling secret sauce, describe the concept.
Yeah, I really like the drive concepts at Yale. You'd have someone coming across the silo and then be on a basic route. I like catching the ball over the middle. That's something that I wish I did a lot more. And then, kind of to deceive a lot of teams, especially on 3rd and short. You saw it in Miami and saw it in Georgia too. We'll have, the tight end either coming across and making it look like GY counter or leaking across to the flat. That would occupy a lot of the box players and free me up on the perimeter. I had a really good run against NC State as well on that. Had one on Miami against that, or kind of going inside zone and then leaking out to the flat the opposite way and bluffing the defensive end.
Atlanta, you didn't know life at Tech before Coach Key.
Yeah.
What did you believe in to go there? How did he instill this in you, and what did you take from the program, and how is the program moving forward still?
Totally, yeah. I'm honestly remiss that I wasn't able to be at Tech for longer. Atlanta's a great city, and I think that's one of the core reasons, alongside the system and the scheme that they were running, was just how personable it was for the whole process. Even besides Coach Key, I met with the offensive coordinator on FaceTime, met with the tight ends coach, met with the QB's coach, and he just made it seem like they were really kind of out to get me, and they were really fired up to potentially have me come and play for them. And I think that just speaks a lot to Coach Key. He's a total players coach. He believes, like me, in relationships and in the locker room, and forming those through tough times and grittiness and resiliency. I see a lot of kind of my traits in him. He's a totally just energetic, passionate guy. He loves to run the ball just like I do, and he's built something great there. Again, I wish I could have been there for longer than 1 year, but I feel like the past 2 years officially under him, it's totally headed in the right direction. You see that with the recruiting class.
You think Texas sleeping giant?
What was that?
You think Texas sleeping giant?
I think they're a giant for sure. I think teams know what they're getting when they play us or played us. I haven't formally, just at the Senior Bowl, not formally or informally here yet.
Jackson, from your teammates, either at Yale or at Georgia Tech, who's the next one that you could see up here at the podium here at Combine?
Are you talking about
either school?
Still there?
Either school, right? Somebody next year, year after could be here.
Probably Jordan Vandenberg. Yeah, he's a big man, and he's the strongest guy in the weight room, but he's speedy. You watch our tape from like last year, and he was making plays all the time, like getting a ton of screens and chasing guys down.
How long did it take you to get over the Georgia game?
What was that?
How long did it take you to get over the Georgia game?
I'm still not over it. Yeah, I'm still not over it. Every time I'm reminded of it, I'm just not no, it's all right. It's all right.
For a guy like Key as well, I mean, the emotion that embrace with Kirby, like, what'd you take from that?
Yeah. Sorry, what was your question?
The embrace he had with Kirby, like two guys that went into battle after the game, just kind of holding each other, sharing that moment with Key and Kirby after the game.
That's right. I do remember someone telling me about that.
Like, what was that? I mean, for someone we don't know what it was like. I mean, can you?
That's football right there. We just duked it out over a 4-hour game, but at the end of the day, like it's a kids game that we're playing out there, and we got a ton of emotion in it. And to your point, like it's a ton of emotion to feel that night.
You love Atlanta. You said your experience. What about the Falcons?
Loved it.
Think you have a good fit with the Falcons?
I think I'd be a great fit anywhere. Honestly.
Did you consider hopping to the portal a year earlier?
What was that?
Did you consider going to the portal a year earlier?
No, I wanted to get my degree from Yale, and that's kind of
Yeah, Yale degrees are good.
Thanks for your time, though. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
So you are a quote-unquote full-service tight end. You, as you said, you'll put guys in their back in the run game, and you can attack 3 levels in the pass game. So I asked you about like your favorite game as a blocker. What's your favorite game in the pretty boy stuff, catching the ball?
Catching the ball, Georgia, I feel like Georgia was really fun. I had a ton of those underneath routes. Going back to my Yale days, my senior year, Dartmouth was a fun one. I caught like a seam read in that game, and then he had like a cover 2 look for one where I kind of just ran behind the corner and caught it in that whole shot. Probably say Dartmouth.
Of the guys who've covered you, who stuck out in your mind as, okay, this guy's got it. Like, this guy could play at the next level.
Probably Malachi Starks.
Oh, yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
What stood out to you about a guy like Malachi Starks?
He's sticky, he's physical, he's good with his hands up front, and he attaches really well.
And playing against a guy like that, what does it get you ready for? What changes within you as a player when you play those guys?
I think it all starts with the preparation. All starts with film study and kind of working it throughout the week, working the different techniques like the club and rip, or dip my shoulder, get space, free myself up. It definitely playing guys like that. It takes a lot more preparation.
Did the way you study tape change when you went from Yale to Georgia Tech?
Totally. Yeah, totally. I felt like at Yale I watched things a little bit more just personnel-wise versus Georgia Tech. I watched a lot more scheme-wise stuff. Kind of see how they're loading the box, see what coverages they do, seeing their tendencies and how they like to drop stuff and bring pressure, stuff like that.
What's the favorite play you made just because of something you saw on tape, like a tendency, something about a formation or down in distance that they tend to go with that you were able to take advantage of?
Yeah, I think that in like the Notre Dame game and Louisville, they had, it was both short yardage situations, and they had a 6-eye, and we were in 12 personnel, and I'm working with the tight end. I'm like quad up to a guy, and then when they, brought a guy in a 9 technique just right outside me, I know I can just go now and kind of say, screw it, I'm on my own. Get the F tight end to solo call. also I'm going right now. So probably those maybe both good blocks.
So why is the combine important for a player like you? Specifically you?
It's just important for, me specifically. I think the interviews are a big reason. I think it's important to show teams like my passion and love for football and get in there with GMs and decision makers and really just like sell myself and be myself and show them like they're getting a guy that's a total winner.
What could make a difference for you to get drafted and make your draft stock higher?
Yeah, I think me being a blocking tight end, I think like running fast would definitely like really help, like especially like special teams coaches. Seeing that I play a lot of special teams at Yale, and that's something that I'm definitely looking to make an impact on my rookie season.
You guys played a bruising style at Georgia Tech. You seem like you thrived in it.
Yeah.
Is that something that you look at, and then how did that prepare you to play at the next level in the NFL?
I think a lot of our installs, we look at the Dolphins offense, we look at the 49ers offense and see what they do. I think seeing how the pros, the best of the best do it first is something that really helped me in those installs. And when I'm watching film, I want to see something done the right way. I'm looking at like the NFL, I'm seeing how they do it and seeing how I can apply that and talking to the other tight ends about how they want to run stuff.
If you had to sell yourself to a team by giving them a comparison of who Jackson Halls is to anyone, it doesn't matter where in football, what tight end would you pick?
Honestly, I think the game really similar. They resembles Charlie Ward. I think they were both really physical guys. We both catch on the ball underneath, and we run through blocks really well. So I'd probably go.
Jackson, you talked about wanting to punish guys on the field. Dave Campbell's all about that. The Lions, a team that you've met with formally, and have you had a chance to talk with Dan about being violent on the field?
I'll meet with them formally tonight, so we're really excited for the opportunity.
What do you think that, what do you want to say and do to really impress him the most?
Just be myself. I don't think that I need to approach that interview any differently than I've approached the other ones. I'm really excited to get to meet him, though. I think it's going to be awesome, him being a former tight end. I think that would be really cool, him as a head coach.
Are you a full participant? You're doing everything here?
What was that?
Are you doing everything? Full participation?
I'll be doing everything. I might do the 40. I got a bone bruise last practice in the Senior Bowl, so it's something I've been recovering from. But, I'm 4 weeks out now, and they said it's a 4 to 6 week thing, so we'll see how I'm feeling.
I have a feeling that means yes, because you're a super tough guy.
I really want to. I really want to, but I just got to be smart.
I got you.
Hey man, can you tell us a little bit about Aaron Joe? Did you have any relationship with him? I know he's just hired by Texas. A bunch of fans are kind of interested in what that guy's all about.
No, he's awesome, man. He's a total players guy. Probably one of the most friendliest guys you'll be in the building, just with us. And me coming in and only being there for a year, I feel like I knew the guy for years, just because how personable he was. Put me on a lot of good fried chicken restaurants, and I'm fired up Texas and seeing how he's going to help that program.
Thank you.
I met with Commanders and during the Senior Bowl informally, like we all did, and then I believe I did the Ravens at the Senior Bowl and a couple days ago here. Again, I was a freshman, so I probably played maybe 15 snaps in that game. I forget really where it was. I started with a few snaps and got more and more as the year got on. But it was definitely we all knew he was going to be a first round. It's like, man, this is going to be the first round, the only first rounder I can remember that I had to go against. It was definitely scary. I remember we were running split zone, and I went, and cutting was still legal then, so I wasn't going to hit him up high. The dude was an animal. And, I went to a cut, and I felt so bad. I went to the sideline, and someone was like, yo, what if you took him on his name? And I felt so bad. I actually DM'd them, and I still have, someone asked me about it a while ago. I DM'd them yo, bro, I'm sorry for trying to cut you, stuff like that. It was crazy.
Did he respond?
No.
Huh.
Do you have a favorite memory from your time in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, even though I guess it wasn't in Tuscaloosa, the SEC championship was kind of surreal. Just being part of a championship, and that was my first season coming out of Maryland, so it's not like, I had championship experience like, most Alabama guys had before I was there. So, just running, even in Tuscaloosa, running out the tunnel, walking champions, just things like that yeah, you may see it on TV and stuff like that, but to be in it and like know that you're there alongside with the team, you're part of it is, it's just a different feeling.
CJ, what's your favorite play call to hear come in and why?
Say it again?
What's your favorite play call to hear come in and why?
I enjoy everything, whatever's asked me, I do. Run game, I like duo, vertical box games, doubles, getting up to the next level. It's more of like a man's play, one-on-ones, so you could get, no more separation or penetration if it's the other way around. Or, pass plays, sticks, basics, corners, really whatever's going to, be the best option when that team comes. It's hard to, answer questions like that because all teams do different stuff, so I try to think
Okay, let me give you a situation. You're facing somebody who's playing cover 3 match. It's 3rd and 8. The ball's coming to you. What would you like to hear?
3rd and 8, I like to do like an option route at 8 yards. You have the opportunity to hook in, hook out, break out. If you could break in, if that guy breaks outside too far, it would be awesome. So anything where you have a little room to not run a route just on paper like a robot, but you have a little bit of freedom to find the zone, or if it's man, work the top of those.
No, well, I have one more if there's room. Okay, so clearly you're a student of the game. You love getting into tape. Who was the person that unlocked tape study for you?
This past season, my tight end coach, I had a lot of good tight end coach. Coach Mike Miller, Coach Joe Cox when I was first at Alabama. But Coach Brian Ellis was my last tight end coach there. And, I already understood how to kind of be a pro about stuff. I already understood film and stuff like that. But he broke it down like a defensive ID. So understanding what's going to go on, like pre-snap ID, safety rotation so much, corner alignment, corner eyes. If that star's inside or outside leverage of the slot guy, is it going to be a blitz? If you have a 6-tech, 9-tech, 7-tech, if you have a 3-shade with that guy, if you have a shade with 6, kind of just what's going to go on before the snap, and it kind of just slows the game down. You can be ready for it. If I have like a chip assignment and I have to stay in for somebody, you can kind of already know what you have to do because you already, see the pre-snap alignments.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Able to be a part of this, and this is great.
Elijah, what's something you're going to miss about Miami?
Man, first of all, my teammates, the weather, and the food. Top 3.
Elijah, what would it feel like to play alongside a player like this?
Excuse me?
What would it feel like to play alongside a player like this?
Who?
George Kittle.
Man, it'd be great. I mean, just to be able to learn from him, it would be great. I'll just try to take everything I can from him, just be a fly on the wall. Being able to learn from one of the greats would be a blessing.
Elijah, what did the rehab process teach you?
Like I said, how to be mentally strong. I can't really, during the injuries, I couldn't. Just have to think about, how few, will appreciate how hard you're working.
Kittle being an all-around guy, what would you see are similarities between your and his game?
What I enjoy watching from him is just how much fun he has when he's out there blocking. He's a playmaker. He goes out there, he can catch the ball, run, he can do it all. But when he dominates in the run game, he's truly enjoying the game of football, and that's something that I like watching from him.
Have you met with the 49ers through the combine?
Thank you. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Tight ends are smart, most of the most part. I mean, as we kind of know that, but obviously it's a cliche. Jackson Hall is super smart, obviously, and CJ really. I was about to say, he was incredible. It's like, okay, that he helped himself in my eyes. I don't know how the NFL feels about it, but he really understands the game at a high level. Like, I really got that from him. Oh, well, I'm here with Jeff Risden. Hi, Jeff. Hello. I have to tilt upward because Jeff is 6'5". Yeah. Who are the guys you're really interested in so far here, and the rest of the time you?
Yeah, the tight ends are fun. Harold Fannin, obviously, I'm a MAC guy. I'm an Ohio guy. So
yes.
I want to see him do well. I got the Lacone from Western Michigan coming up. Keep my Maction hat on.
Get the Maction going.
Like we just talked about, C.J. Dipre, fantastic guy. Lou Lachey.
The bloodlines, who's killing people. His dad killing people, yes.
It's just fun to be around and see, like, it's also
fun to see like the big crowds for like the non-traditional players.
I love that too. Yeah.
Like Tyler Warren had a massive crowd, and then as he was talking, like Terrence Ferguson was right next to him, and people started filtering over because he's an interesting talker. And he can play a little bit.
He can play a little bit.
It's fun to see. Yeah.
I like the tight end group as a whole. Like this is a good year, especially if you need a full service tight end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like Warren's really good.
Yes.
And I think Colson Loveland, once he's healthy, will be really good. But that not being available for the summer is going to be.
That's not great. That's not awesome.
There's a lot of guys that can be like number 2 tight ends and play for a long time. That's what my takeaway. From
Yeah. Like
and watching tape too.
Right. So when I went back and went through the tape, I like Hawes more every time I watch it.
Yes.
Like
Punisher.
He literally hits himself every time I watch him. Like, I start watching him. Of course, I watched him before he transferred. I thought he might come out, and he said he thought about coming out before. And so it's like, I was like, yeah, he has a chance maybe to be drafted right at the end of the draft. And then now, 5th round, 4th, even maybe.
I would say early day 3, mid day 3. Yeah. I think he's above the 7th, probably above.
Oh, he's well up. I think he's, unless he has a terrible testing day.
Yeah, we'll see how he tests.
Yeah, that's going to make the rest of the difference.
That's the fun part.
And Arroyo just has to win the medical. That's what.
Stay healthy.
He's got to win the
He's
medical.
an incredible talent.
Yeah.
We saw that in Mobile.
Oh, the talent is
ridiculous.
Drips off. He's just got to win the medical.
He's snoozing now.
Oh, as well he ought to be. Yeah, so here's the room. We're all in hurry up and wait mode.
Yes, we are. Got Janae Barron coming up here. I'm interested in him too.
Yep.
Safety time.
It is. I love the safety dance.
I will not dance with you.
No, and I would not ask you to.
Want to do that.
I would not ask you to. I know where your strengths are.
Jacob Parrish is a good player too.
I think I'm going to park myself at the Jacob Parrish podium. We just saw a Super Bowl, not dominated, but greatly influenced by the nickel, right?
Starting position.
I know I'm pick the right guy when I show up with Fran and Bill here.
There we go. Hey! Hey! I've been a fan of yours for probably 11, 12-ish years, somewhere in the range.
Feelings mutual.
Thank you, sir.
I look at it like, oh, he has twin brothers from around track.
Right.
That sounds interesting. And then you hear you guys like, oh, okay.
Right.
Encouraging.
Right. Well, I remember when Christian Gonzalez was here, and I was like, his sister is,
Yeah, right.
I mean, I don't know who the faster member of the family is. Have you seen his sister? She is a world-class 200-meter. Yes, right. That's how you know you're world-class. Right. You don't get there just because they like you. You got to be really fast. Olympics fast. You got to be Olympics.
They're just fucking dropping bombs. Of course, I said world class.
I should. That came out differently than I did.
We're rewriting it as we go. Perfectly innocuous.
Oh, I'm Mike and Fran. Fran Duffy, of course, the legendary Fran Duffy, and
Get off the screen.
Right, and Jeff is getting on the screen, and of course, Mike. I've known you for even longer than I've been following Fran because we met in 2011,
2010.
Before that. Because did we meet at the draft?
We met at the combine.
No, we met at the draft. And you were the guy that found me at the draft saying, "Who are you?" because you liked my question.
Maybe it was the draft. I thought it was the combine.
No, it was the draft. We met at the draft, and it was Vince Young's year. That's how far back it was. Yeah.
Honestly, it's like a Pavlovian response. If I'm at the combine and I don't hear one of your questions, I'm like, oh, what is going on right now? I start to get like thirsty or something. Questions are the best ones.
I want you to come on to my show at some point.
Yes.
I will bother you at some point about that. This is an interesting group. You know what I mean? Like the players. Like there's years where like there's even if they're fantastic athletes, it's like you could tell they've been super coached and whatever. Sure. But even with like they feel like themselves. Yeah. Is that just not just
I'll say that, but here's the thing. You
know these guys well enough to sort of gravitate to the guys who you think can be themselves
Maybe
and have a
that's
more
it.
interesting story to tell.
Maybe
and then you, and
Maybe I'm
and-
self-selecting out the people who will bore
Right,
me.
and so we you select them because of your knowledge, and then you turn out to be validated for the fact that they're more interesting guys. And we're not all over there with Travis Hunt right now, with 600 of our closest friends, asking him exactly one question of relevance that he will not answer.
Right.
600 of your closest friends. Speak for yourself.
Fight me. JW, 2 o'clock.
So do you see yourself as a corner or as a wide receiver?
That's the question. And what do you ask after that? Phenomenal athlete. I don't want to hear did you talk to. He's going to talk to every single team. There's only 3 teams with a chance to
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Did you talk to the Chiefs? Did the Chiefs what would it be like to play for Andy Reid?
Oh,
Right. So
I feel like there should be pre-printed answers to certain questions that's up there up by their name placard, so you don't have to. Oh, let's take a picture.
Right. And he could be somebody, if he's, I mean, obviously it's top of the line representation.
Yeah.
Why don't you go out there and say, hey, I want to start out by answering this question. Now, it won't stop somebody at minute 14 of the interview from going up and asking it again.
You're right. It won't.
Right, but
or a variant.
Yes.
Like the slight variant.
Andrew Barris, he's a GM, and he can go through media training and all. I'm going to talk Myles Garrett now. I'm going to start with that. That's what he did.
That was smart. Wait, once again, Harvard guy, right?
He's a Harvard guy, and you have experience with the media, the Browns media, who cuckoo banana pants. And then you get your follow-up questions, but then you sort of have control of it from the start. Harvard can go up there and say, I am a cornerback. Or I literally want to do both, and I'm going to ask teams for whatever, and then we can move from there.
Oh, I thought I did introduce them. Okay. Mike Tenier and Fran Duffy. Fran Duffy runs Philadelphia basically.
Let's not go too far.
I mean, okay. I mean, you could share the load with Saquon, right? God, what a cool thing this is for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I was born in Hahnemann Hospital, which no longer there, sadly.
Right.
And believe it or not, they had a student program where if you parents said yes, they would, even though I'm not actually Jewish, I actually had a bris because it was a chance for them to practice their art. And I mean, I don't know if anyone will ever know this, but whoever you are, you did a fantastic job. Thank you so very much.
By the way, I'm circumcised too, but I don't brag about it.
Well, I think you kind of just did, actually. I think that's kind of what that was.
Fine work.
But, yeah, I guess that's probably what it is. Maybe it's confirmation bias at work, but I haven't had one person I was like, what a dud.
Right. And there have been a lot of the one-line monosyllabic individuals here. They do seem to be a little more comfortable.
There was an defensive tackle from Georgia whose name I will not say, who I remember thinking, did no one tell you what would happen when you got up there?
Right.
Because it felt like he literally had just been rolled out here without being told, oh, it's going to be an event, you'll be asked questions.
Right.
But that has changed so much. So, yeah. Everyone knows they'll be asked questions.
We ask questions, and they're used to it to some degree.
It feels like they've practiced at least a little.
I wonder if it's because they did the Madden My Career, where they do
I hadn't thought about that.
And I want to program them to actually ask the questions that they'll be asked.
What? Somebody get Madden on the phone. I mean, not him, but the people.
and I know in the past, some of us were the people on Twitter in Madden. If you remember, out there and said this kid has had a crap game and broke down the embarrassed. But actually have because they do a little combine. What do you think? And if you answer the question the wrong way, it lowers your rating. Or at least it used to.
Yeah, I've never played that.
That might have been 2004 or something.
Well, now I'm going to have to dig back through the Madden archives, which luckily I have old Madden in my house. In fact, I don't have the new ones, so I only have old. So it'll be easy to sort through that. But I'll have to look for that. Other than, obviously, Jacob Parrish, is anybody else you're particularly wanting to see today?
I'm just bouncing around. You guys know the type of questions I'm asking are all about their teammates and opponents. And I love hearing these guys talk about other players, and I'll write off of that. So I bounce around. So basically, wherever the crowd is going, I'll go the other way.
Veteran move.
Then out there, then I sneak on in.
Veteran move. See, that's...
We've been in enough of these, we know.
Yeah, you do. Yep. And you dressed for it, you got...
Gotta go
Comfortable. Explosive, you'll be able to... Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Change of direction, all that. Who was it that proposed they have a media combine? I remember one year someone proposed one of those. Remember that?
Right. Well, and when Rich was running, it was more of
Oh,
a thing and stuff like
yeah.
that. Let's have us all do it.
That would be hilarious but dangerous.
I don't think I could run 4 years.
Someone came up with that idea that knew that they were not going to do it.
Right. Right.
Oh. I remember talking to the late Stuart Scott after he'd just come back from his first round of chemo and everything. But he looked amazing. You know what I mean? Like cut up and like. And he said he was going to go to an NFL training camp. I think the Jets was like training camp and run. I was like, Stuart, what do you think you're running? He said 4.6. And he may have been messing with me or he may have been dead ass serious. It was hard to tell with Stu, but he looked amazing. God, what a guy.
Yeah, no question.
I miss the hell out of Stuart. As does the world.
I can't run a 4.6.
Is it just me, or is there more time between loops there used to be?
As the workouts have gone on, it seems like yesterday, like the delay gets greater. I don't know if the first group comes in and then does medical.
Yesterday got thrown off because the delay was medical.
It was a medical, okay.
Like through I think the storm, like they were traveling through it. It was
Okay. So that explains the mess. Because, yeah, yesterday was messy.
And they're running time, by the way.
What's up, Jacob?
What's up?
Who's the toughest guy you saw in a game this past year that you matched up with?
T-Mac from Arizona. He's a really good receiver.
Why, T? What sets him apart?
Just he was pretty good for his size. You know, he made every route look the same. He got out his space pretty good. So I'll say
And who's the best guy going back to KSU that we're not talking about right now, but a year from now we'll talk about?
VJ Payne, for sure.
Why VJ?
6'3" safety, and he really fast. So, yeah, he can look good.
Was there a one moment that stood out to you from early on in his career where you knew he was going to be that kind of guy?
Shoot, right when we got there his freshman year, like he started his first game of college, so I knew right then he was a dude. So, yeah.
We just saw a Super Bowl where the slot corner was one of the best players on the field. Talk to people who maybe don't understand the power of the position of nickel, slot, whatever you want to call it. Why has that now become one of the most important positions in the field? And tell them about your responsibilities. What do you do versus the run versus the pass?
I'll say just, NFL is a heavy passing league, so, you want more DBs out there. And then, like nickels, you got to be able to defend the pass and then be able to be in the run fit. So I say it's one of the best positions on defense.
How long did it take you to get comfortable reading out patterns on the fly?
I feel like I picked on pretty quickly. It comes with film study and preparation, so I feel like, I picked up pretty quickly.
Film study is the key to being able to play your position.
Sure.
What was the first, most exciting play you made that was because something clicked from tape?
My pick against Oklahoma State. I remember they were showing that formation like previous weeks. I knew it was coming.
And what was the call on defense? What was the defensive call?
Losing some man coverage.
Jacob, when did you realize that you were ready for the NFL?
Shoot, really after my sophomore, I want to say during my sophomore year. I want to say after that second game against Troy, that's when I really knew I could play at the next level.
What did your preparation like? Did it change? How did you kind of get locked in on being ready for the combine year?
Just taking care of my body, trying to lose body fat and just get stronger and get faster.
Also being a kid from North, I mean, not a lot of kids come out and make it to the league. What is it like from Kansas City and get to rep one year?
Yeah, it's blessed. I'm blessed for this opportunity. Not many guys get this opportunity. I'm hopefully going to make full of my opportunity.
Jacob, what DB drill do you think is one that's most applicable to make you a better player when you get the field?
You said what DB drill?
Which one do you think actually is most applicable, right, to make you better on the field?
Just flipping your hips, the flip drill, and man coverage, you got to be able to flip your hips pretty fast and save a receiver, so I'm going to go with the flipping your hips.
Jacob, have you been talking to teams mainly as like a slot guy or also maybe an outside guy or outside?
It's been both, depending on the team. Some teams see me as a slot, some teams see me as a corner.
What would you say is your most defining trait in your game compared to everyone else? Obviously, this is a very talented defensive back class. What kind of sticks out on the tape when they put on Jacob there?
Shoot, I'm a physical guy. guy. I might not be the biggest, but that's my mindset. I mean, I grew up wrestling, so I love hitting and I love just playing football.
Your takeaways from the Senior Bowl?
Senior Bowl, it was cool. It was a cool little experience. Be able to compete against the best of the best. But I feel like I had a good week. So yeah.
Have you talked to the Pittsburgh Steelers either here at the Combine or during your time at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, I talked to them here at the Combine and at the Senior Bowl.
Was that an informal meeting here?
Yeah, it was a.
What teams have you met with formally here?
I just met with the 49ers, but I meet with the Falcons tonight for formally.
How'd the 49ers one go?
They went pretty good. They put up clips. They said they had a good meeting. So yeah.
Is there a player you kind of model your game after?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. There's like 3 I really watch: Trent McDuffie, Jair Alexander, and Denzel Ward.
You talked about wrestling. I also wrestled.
Yeah.
So were you like a sink the deep half and run to the head guy? Like, what was your thing that was you put the most guys away with?
Single leg. I mean, I always would get the single leg. I was known as. I would say that's my go-to.
And then pick the off ankle, or what would you do once you got the single?
Once shoot like cradle. I like to put guys in the cradle.
Near side.
What?
Near side.
Near side.
Near
Yeah.
side.
Near side.
You were on track as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So it was football, wrestling, track. That was the.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really run track till high school, but like growing up, I really was wrestling, football, and basketball. But started running track in high school and it went pretty good.
And you have twin brothers, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, are they running track in college now?
Yeah, they run track at Wichita State University.
Okay. Now, being the family of that many athletes, what was it? What were like pickup games with the kid?
I mean, it's just it's always competition, man. Literally in everything we do. I remember when I was little, my dad would host like wrestling tournaments at our house, and we used to wrestle each other, me and my brother. So it was cool.
It was just the 3 of you, no neighborhood kids came in.
Just 3 of us. Just 3 of us.
If the 3 of you showed up in the playground to go play ball, would anyone even play against you? Or
I mean, yeah, but majority of times we went into all the games we played. So yeah.
You're a guy with a lot of
Yes, sir. I mean, just like different approaches. Outside you get like bigger guys, so I try to get hands on early, and then like in the nickel you got to be more patient. You got them guys speedy and stuff, so you guys just stay patient. So I'll say that. I would say Iowa State. They had 2 good receivers. They didn't really have any production against us that game, so I'm gonna go that game.
Of all the coverages you guys run, which one is your favorite and why?
Shoot, man coverage. I love playing man coverage. That's something I'm really good at, and I take pride in it. So I'm gonna go man coverage.
Jacob, you had mentioned a little earlier upbringing. You were born in Jefferson City,
yes,
correct?
Sir.
And then you moved to the Kansas side of the Kansas City area.
Yes, sir.
Even though you weren't maybe in Missouri, especially for high school, what kind of sense of regional pride do you have, especially being from Kansas City?
I mean, I take a lot of pride in it. I know there's some few guys down here that's from Kansas City, but like I said, I'm just blessed represent that area.
And then what was the move like from Jefferson City to Olate?
Well, I was born in Jefferson City, so I was a little kid, so I don't remember living in Jefferson City, so I moved to Latha when I was early age.
You said you like Trent McDuffie a lot. Have you ever been able to watch him in person?
I ain't watching him in person, but I grew up a Chiefs fan, so I've been watching him for a pretty good amount of time.
What would it be like if the Chiefs wanted to speak with you?
Shoot, that'd be a blessing, stay close to home, I wouldn't mind doing that.
In the weight room, what have you been working on the most?
Bench press, just working on that 225. I'm excited to go do that.
So you're doing all the things, you're doing everything?
Yes, sir.
Jacob, can you tell me something that you're passionate about that most people wouldn't know?
My faith, to be honest. Recently out there, I know I want to be here because I want to be here if it wasn't to God. So I'm to Him, and I take pride in that.
If football didn't exist, what would you be doing with your life right now?
Shoot, I'll probably get my CDO, become like a truck driver, or if not, try to start a business with me and my brother and train local athletes. So I'll do something like that.
You're doing some Madden stuff this weekend. What do you think your rating should be?
Shoot, I mean, I think it should be at least an 80 plus, but as a rookie, I'm probably gonna be like in 60, so it is what it is.
If there was a Kansas State football wrestling tournament, who wins it?
Me, for sure, me.
Jacob, you said you grew up a Chiefs fan. What were some of your favorite Chiefs memories or favorite players you had growing up?
Favorite player, Jamal Charles. I remember that. I mean, back then Chiefs wasn't really good, but I was a little fan. I remember when they played the Raiders, it was like a shootout. I want to say in 2015, 16, so I would say that.
What's the next step for you in terms of your development? What are some of the things you're going to be focusing on?
Just my knowledge of the game, like just knowing like formations and variations, and like what I can see out of these formations is just improving my communication skills.
How much pride do you take in being in the position that you are for kids at Lake North? What kind of program that Lake North has as a football? For you to be in this position, for them to see that.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What does it mean to you to have the platform you do for the kids at Lake North and the programs that they built there to be in this position so kids can know they can get here too?
I mean, this is an opportunity, like people say, not many people from the Lake North get this opportunity, man. So I'm trying to make the most of it and just show people from my area, like, it's anything possible, put your mind to it.
You
Man, just Coach Malone, my assistant coach, and then Julius Branson and Coach Boydo, my freshman year. I look at them new guys. I learn a lot from them. So I'll say those two guys. So I worked on, try to work on different techniques, and then a game that I played, like I said, Troy, early in my career, that I would say that game really clicked.
You talked about wrestling helped your tackling. What tackle is your favorite one on tape?
Against Oklahoma State, they threw like a crossing route to a receiver. I can't even hit him.
Jacob, if you could share the field with any NFL player all time, past or present, who would you choose?
Probably Deion Sanders, to be honest. Yeah.
Have you met with the Steelers yet?
Yeah.
Who did you meet with, and what was that like?
It was an informal meeting, so I ain't had a formal meeting, but just trying to get to know me and stuff like that.
Really just us competing. That's what made it fun. I mean, he's a competitor just like me, so I mean, that's what made it fun. I'm a dominant press man corner, for sure.
BJ, we see a lot more combination coverages. We might be playing, sometimes man concepts on one side of the field, on this side of the field, zone concepts. Tell us about your experience, and when did you get comfortable with the mental side of playing more complex coverages?
Probably my junior year. I felt like my junior year, I played a lot of men, so I mean that's where I got my feet wet, and I just took off from my senior year, just being dominant in that press man.
Which one of your coaches helped you to unlock that part of your game?
My coaches, Coach Addison Williams and Coach Trayvon Reed, they really helped me a lot for sure.
Yeah, well, Coach Reed obviously is well known in the industry. What makes him so good at what he does?
Because he gonna make sure all his players confident. He gonna encourage you, and he gonna also, do a little extra work with you after the practice too.
You mentioned extra work after practice. Where are the things that you were trying to refine when you stay after, when you come in early, when you stay late?
Just my ball skills. I mean, that's the biggest thing I wanted to show. So, I mean, we were just doing a lot of ball drills after practice.
Of all the drills you've ever done as a DB, which one do you think is the most applicable to your game? Which has helped you the most?
My feet. Just making sure my feet work is always clean. I mean, you got to win with your feet. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing that I always work on.
When there's a ball in the air, and you said you want to be the person that comes down with it, what are the things that have helped you to get that connection with your hands and your eyes?
Just focusing on it. If I'm out of phase, you know what I'm saying, and the quarterback throws a bad ball, I mean, I got to go look back for it. Even if when I'm in phase, I'm still looking back for the ball.
Of all the guys you've had to cover, which one was the one that impressed you the most or made you work the hardest?
I'd probably say the two Iowa State guys. They made me get in my bag a little bit for sure.
Yeah, I could see that. As a tackler, which people don't talk about enough, you are well above the average mark. Where are you growing most as a tackler, and what has helped you?
Yeah, just knowing where I need to fit in the run, just knowing my run fits are. That's where I'm really striving to be the best at. Where if I know where my run fits is, I can shoot the gap faster and won't hesitate.
And have you gotten a chance to meet with San Francisco in the process?
Yeah, I had an interview with them.
How was that meeting overall?
It was very smooth. Just talked a little ball. Really didn't talk too much. Just getting to know me. They just getting to know me. That was really it.
Was that an informal meeting?
No.
It was a formal meeting?
No, not yet. It was informal. And I met with them at the Senior Bowl too. So yeah.
In the weight room, what's the biggest thing you're still working on for your body?
I want to say probably my bench press. That's probably one of the biggest things I'm working on for sure.
Are you going to full participating in all the drills and everything?
I probably want to participate in like 3 or 4 right now, just because I want to, like, at pro day, I just want to be confident and do those.
Now, is that the agilities, like the 3-cone, the short shuttle?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, you're saving
You
those.
get a chance to meet with the Steelers?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Yeah.
I've never seen him pull someone in the middle of an answer.
Well, now you have. But I've also never seen us wait like an hour and 20 minutes for someone who never came. So
Oh, no, that
we're getting some.
happened here.
Well, no, I guess you're right.
That's
No, I guess that is.
that's as much a part of
But
this
normally
as
they
40
send you
yard
an
dash.
email or something saying, "Oh, they're not coming." We didn't even get an email. Yes, right.
I've waited a long time for guys.
True.
Little small things like that until I got into college and I had to change my mind, just accept it, and I had to accept it is what it is, and just to keep moving. So for any kid listening, you're going to go through things, life trials and tribulations, but just continue to grow and just put your faith in God. That's what I had to do. I had to understand that even when things wasn't going my way, I still had to lean on Him. Even when things was going my way, I still had to lean on Him. And so I just never shy away from that. And God's ultimately, He's my leader, He's my Father. So anytime I'm down or even when I'm up, I'm always praying and just high hopes to Him.
Are you running tomorrow and doing all the testing, or are you waiting until the pro?
Most definitely, I'll get after it tomorrow.
Johnny, what is your former?
I always believe my NFL dream was to reach. Again, I always had faith in that, and I always put my faith in God. So I just know I had to do my part. Obviously, was to work. And over the years, again, I grew to be a mature person on and off the field, and it allowed me to be here today.
Did I once
What is your former
biggest
teammate like?
what's been
What is your former teammate Jalen Catalan like as a player and a person?
Jaden Catalan, he's a very quiet, but once you get to know him, he's very funny. That was a player that actually I learned a lot from him. Practice habits. Jaden Catalan, he used to practice very fast at a high pace, and he would tell me it would help him and it would help him build calluses. That's why you guys see Jaden Catalan, just the way he hits, the way he tackles, the physicality, because he built that throughout the practice and things like that. And then also just I watched another player do that, Andrew Makuba and Michael Taff. I watched them do it every single day. Coach Gideon used to make them build calluses. So when you guys would see big hits from Michael Taff and Andrew Makuba, and y'all wondering how they just kept doing it constantly, week in and week out, because they did it every single day in practice. Again, so just practice habits. That's what I learned from Jaden Catalan, and I appreciate Jaden Catalan for that.
What's been the biggest change you've made in your diet since the season?
Last question. It's been amazing. That was another thing. One of another good reasons why I'm able to play longevity in those games and things like that. Just adding value for myself on special teams and things like that. Just because the way I was eating better, taking care of my body in the treatment room. But most definitely, it's been good. Stayed away from the hot Cheetos and things like that. I don't know if you ever guys heard like an interview of Jordan Whittington. He had a cheat day every day. It was Sunday. He would eat ice cream. So I kind of just took that into my plan. So every cheat day I ate ice cream. And ice cream's not even that bad, but that's what I did.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Just when you came in, you were one of the leader types. He's gonna give you what you want, in and out. He's gonna work hard and do what's possible.
Just what about his quarterback skills?
Amazing. He reminds me a little bit of KJ, but I say he's just a more quicker guy.
He reminded you of who?
I can hear you.
He reminded you of who?
KJ Jefferson a little bit.
Okay, gotcha. And Chauncey Magwood's coming up here too. Did you score out against him in any DB wide receiver?
Oh yeah, it really wasn't like any in practices and things like that, but we did do a little bit of one-on-one reps, and he definitely was a competitor.
Hey Mac, how did you get your sack this year?
I can hear you.
How did you get your one sack?
It was on the cornerback blitz. Yeah, man, against Iowa State.
Okay, were you blocked or did they?
No, I came free.
Okay, how long have you been practicing that one and waiting for it?
I've been practicing on it a lot, man. When my opportunity came, I just had to execute.
So, they ever play of the year, or was that the interception?
I said the interception was.
Walk me through that.
I couldn't hear you.
What happened on that one?
I was just in the cover 3, and they tried to do like a double move on me, but I seen the number 1 receiver. He went on the post route, and the number 2 receiver went on the wheel route, and I just played my assignment, and the ball came right to me.
We just saw the impact of pattern matching defense in the Super Bowl, right? That's really the secret sauce of what Fangio does. When you're in that jump from where you've been to where you're going, what has helped you to start learning about NFL defenses, the things you're going to be asked to do?
Like I've just taken everything day by day, reading my assignments, getting back, studying film.
Okay, and who's working with you in terms of getting into that?
Guys working with me. I got my agency working with me. I got my coaches that in high school that I grew up with, that I came up with it, teaching me a lot of things that, I'm just taking in and out and soaking everything again.
As a film student, what's your favorite film student play? A play that you made only because of something you spotted, a tendency or something about what a team did in a certain situation?
Yeah, I definitely said my interception that I had against Sam Houston. I just loved everything about it, man. I've been watching that play the whole week. We were training on that play, and it worked out to my right.
And what was the play that they had called against you there?
It was, like I said, it was a cover 3.
Well, that's what you were running. What were they running?
It was. I really can't understand what they were running and things like that. But I know I was just in the right spot at the right time.
And if you're ever asked to be the communicator in the back half of the defense, what things are you doing to prepare yourself for helping other guys to get in the right places?
I couldn't hear you.
If you're ever asked to be the communicator in the back half, the talker in the back half of the defense, what are the things you're working on to get yourself ready to help get other guys get in the right position?
Just being vocal. I say being vocal and just understanding the defense. Going back, like I said, studying film and going by plays through the week.
How long did it take you to have film study click for you for you to see the impact it was going to have on your career?
It didn't take long. I say whenever I transferred from UAB to UCF, it was a little bit of struggle just because I wasn't playing in the slot like I used to at UAB. But I sat down, I got with my head coaches, got with my defensive coordinators, and we just went over things and made sure it clicked.
Of all the DB drills you do, which one is the one you think helps you the most?
Flip turning. We do our three flip turns, and I'll just say just really because my hip mobility is not where I want it to be right now, but that's what I'm working on.
How comfortable are you playing in the slot, or how much more comfortable are you playing?
I'm very comfortable. I love everything about it. I'm the type of guy that I can go out there and play in space.
Did you get a chance to meet with the Steelers?
Yes, I had a little chat with him, but it wasn't as much.
If you could share the field with any NFL player all time, who would it be?
I'd say Devin Witherspoon, just because I grew up with him.
And do you have a favorite video game of all time?
Call of Duty.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have you had a favorite part of this pre-draft process so far, a favorite moment?
I'm soaking everything in. Everything is a great moment for me. I'm blessed to be here.
Have you met with the Buccaneers this week?
A little bit.
What can you remember about the game plan the week y'all played Colorado, trying to slow down Travis Hunter? Just kind of what goes into having to prepare for him on the receiver side?
It was rough. He's one of the dynamic cats. He's one of the best in the country. But at the end of the day, he's gonna go out there and play hard, just like how we're gonna play hard. So we schemed a lot for him, but at the end of the day, we just gotta go out there and execute.
What made it so difficult to kind of change the scheme into execution?
It was, like I said, he's just a dynamic.
As a tackler, what game do you think best shows you as a tackler, Mac?
I'd say the Florida game. I was in the run game a lot. I played a little slot, and I executed.
And what's your approach? Like, what things do you work on to become an even better tackler?
Like I said, in practice, just going over the different drills, staying connected to the hip, reading the hips, low hip, same foot, same shoulder.
And then working on your hands, what are the things that help you most to come along as a guy that will even come with more balls?
I'd say the ball placement, and I'll just say my eyes. You got to see what you catch.
And in terms of working on your body, what are the things that from the end of the season to now, what have you most been working on?
Like I said, I would say my hip mobility. Like I said, I tend to ooze out my breaks and things like that, but I'm working on it.
Okay. And
what's the next 3 weeks look like for you as you need to?
I'm gonna go back to training, get training in Dallas, but I'm going back to Orlando to my old school, and I'm going to train with them and get ready for the pro day.
Max, seems like you had a pretty good Senior Bowl. What did you feel like was working for you that week?
Just being consistent, taking everything day by day. I felt like I proved a lot, and I proved why I'm one of the best.
Do you have any corners in the league you like to watch specifically, model your game after?
Devin Witherspoon.
Also, have you met with the Patriots at all?
A little bit.
How'd that go?
It went well.
Was it with Vrabel?
Yes, sir.
What's it like meeting with a guy who played in the league and is approaching it as a coach?
It was real great. I never seen him before, but so when he walked up on me, he was way bigger than I thought he was. So I definitely enjoyed it. It gave me a lot of knowledge. Yes, sir.
As you prepare to make this jump, you've talked to people who've played in the league. What have they told you about what's going to be different from what you've already done?
It's going to be a lot of different things, but the main thing is just staying the course and being consistent, coming in and out, staying late.
And in terms of changing your body, as you said, to get ready for the transition, longer season, bigger, stronger players, what are some of the things you've done in terms of diet and exercise?
I've been working on my diet. I've been with my nutrition. We've been going through a lot of making sure I maintain and stay on the same weight I always been.
Which is about what now?
I'm 190 right now.
And that's where you want to be?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing everything here full participation?
I will be full participating, but I won't be doing like 2 drills, the air drill and the broad jump.
Okay, so you're saving that for pro day?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Who's going back to UCF that we're not talking about right now, but a year from now we'll all be talking about?
Jason Johnson.
Why him?
He's one of my DBs. He was one of the younger cats. He proved why he's going to be one of the best coming up.
What stands out about him traits-wise?
He's one of the longer guys. He can stay in front. He's a real technician. And I just feel like once he get it into his head that he want to be dominant, he's going to be one of the ones.
You were one of the best corners in the field for me. Who matched that for you offensively? Who was the toughest cover at wideout?
I'd say Jack Beck from TCU.
Why?
He's a big guy. He's real handsy. He's real physical, and he can play at the top.
How about in a game this past year as a senior? Who's the best guy, the toughest guy that you had to cover up?
I'll probably say Travis Hunter.
What stood out about Travis?
Yeah, like I said, he's a dynamic kid. He can do everything. He plays both sides of the ball, and you see what.
You could take your first NFL paycheck. You could bet it on a freshman from UCF this past year to make it to the league in 3 years. Who you putting your money on?
I really don't do any bets.
This question is brought to you by FanDuel. All right, well, which freshman caught your eye most this year?
This year?
Yeah.
For UCF?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll say Jason Johnson.
Jason was a freshman this year?
Yes,
sir.
Thanks, man.
Once again, we talked about tackling. Who's been the hardest guy to get to the ground that you've ever faced?
I would definitely probably say when I was at the Reese's Bowl or the Duale Gordon.
Oh.
He's hard. He's a tough cat.
Right. And so you're at 190. You're not going to get any heavier, right? You're not getting taller. You're obviously the size you're going to be. But some great guys have been exactly your size, right? Including R.J. Mickens' father. Ray Mickens was about your size. Do you particularly study guys your size to see how they handle, playing at the next level?
Definitely. I have one guy my side that I play with, Starling Thomas. He plays with the Cardinals right now.
Yep.
I model my game after him a lot. He taught me a lot while I was at UAB.
Excellent.
Are there any young receivers at UCF that are still there, like Bradell Richardson, anybody else that could stand out to you that might take the next step next year?
Yeah, I definitely say Bradell Richardson. He came in, he was just a freshman, so it's going to click whenever he wants to put it into his mind.
So as you are getting into your first NFL training camp, first thing I'm going to ask you to do is play special teams. Tell me about your experience and your approach to playing special teams.
It's great, man. I'm the type of cat that I'll do anything for the team. I do anything for my coaches, my teammates, and they want me on special teams. I'm going to go out there and give them my all. I played a little bit of punt returner in my years, and I played on kickoff as well.
In your past experience with special teams, what was your favorite, the thing you enjoyed the most?
I definitely say punt returner. It's just me, God, and the ball back there.
Are you catching punts now to get ready?
Yes, sir.
How many roughly a day do you think you catch?
I'd say about 20 or 25.
Try to get some more in.
I got you.
I think you're going to have that a little bit in your future.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
You too.
I feel like playing the SEC could help me to get ready for the NFL.
Thank you.
So in the NFL, do you think your play style is most like?
I don't compare myself to any other corners, but I like to watch guys such as Pat Surtain and Derek Stingley.
We just saw the importance of pattern matching, right? That's how one of the ways that the Chiefs ended up having all the trouble they have with Fangio's defense. In those defenses where you're asked to read on the fly, what are some things you're doing now to get ready if you're playing in a pattern matching kind of zone?
Really just understanding different defenses. The coaches, when you go in college or the NFL,
So we had different defenses. So you just got to get in your playbook and understand all of them.
Okay, so who's helping you with that process?
Guys that I work at XP, I got people tutoring me and just things like that.
Okay, because you've played in a few different kinds of defenses. Which one do you think fits you best so far?
It doesn't matter. Whether it's man, whether it's zone, I'm just out there and I'm ready to play.
You've played in, I think, obviously man, and then three different types of zones, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and obviously the combo coverage is coming at you at the next level. Who is it that's getting you comfortable with playing different types or combination coverage?
My coaches, they've been with the NFL, so they know what it is. Just get knowledge from them.
Is there one that's been the most hands-on with you?
Corey Raymond, LSU.
I'm very familiar with Corey Raymond. Let him know I was a big fan of his game.
I got you.
So you're, as you said, working out with guys. Of the wide receivers you work out with, who's jumped off at you when you're working out? You can name a couple. You can name a couple.
We got a lot of guys. We got Jaden, Iowa State.
Because he's got long arms, big hands. Yeah.
Good receiver. Todd Felton, Maryland.
I'm familiar with Todd. Yep.
And the Colorado receivers, Will, Jimmy, and Tay.
Okay, you didn't count Travis amongst them, I guess.
Oh, I was talking about the people I work out.
No, I
with.
know. I'm messing with you.
Oh, yeah.
I think Travis is gonna be a corner anyway. But you are refining your game. When you look at yourself on tape, what are the things you most want to improve?
Just understanding the whole defense, becoming just an overall smart football player. I feel like the smarter you is, the easier the game comes to you.
And amongst your tackling tape, right? Everyone talks about coverage, but at some point you got to get people on the ground. If you want to show somebody your best tackling game, what game do you go to?
Oklahoma, last game of the season.
Why that game?
That's the game I had the most tackles.
Have you had an opportunity to meet or speak with the Dallas Cowboys yet?
A lot of informal.
What would it mean for you to be on a Dallas Cowboys defense that featured ball hawks, Trayvon Diggs, Jawan Bland, and guess what? You get to play with Michael Parsons in front of you.
Yeah, it means a lot, especially learning from Trayvon Diggs. Person that caught a lot of interceptions, so being able to just get the knowledge from him.
What would you feel is your biggest attribute coming to the NFL level, and what do you feel is your biggest opportunity to develop to help you hit the next stage?
You said what?
What's your biggest attribute, your biggest strength, and what's the biggest opportunity for improvement coming into this level?
My strengths, I feel like Malone corner. A guy like to intercept balls and I like to tackle. Thing I need to work on is just becoming a smarter football player, learning everything on the defense, not just the back seven, but like the linebackers and the D linemen.
And how does playing for a program like LSU help prepare you for what comes at the NFL?
Yeah, it wasn't just LSU. I started my first 2 years at Southeastern, so shout out to them. Yep. And then at LSU, the closest thing to the NFL, so being able to go against guys such as Malik, Brian Tyre, Thomas, Kyle Lacey, Jaden, just helped me to get to the this level.
From your SCLU days, who is the best guy you faced who you think could be here along with you?
Cam Ward.
Oh yeah, well yeah, he counts.
He was at UIW.
Yeah, he was at Incarnate Word then. So you said you're refining your understanding of the whole defense. What do you think that'll allow you to do when that locks in for you?
Just overall, just be a better corner. Like as a corner, we feel like we gotta jump everything, but if you got help right there, you don't have to jump nothing because you got help right there.
Gotcha. What's your best play on the ball? It could be an interception or a pass breakup. You want to point out ball skills play. What's the one you show somebody?
Ole Miss.
Why the Ole Miss game?
I caught an interception that had like 3 people use.
Yep. And they have really good wideouts.
Yeah, Trey Harris, Juice Wells.
Yep.
They got a lot of them.
There are a lot of them. Which one stood out to you?
Trey Harris.
Yeah, Trey's a freak, right?
Yeah, I've been playing Trey since he was at La Tech. Big body receiver. Him and his quarterback always had a good connection. He could high point the ball and just complete receiver.
What did you notice about Jackson Dart when you prepared for him?
He's not afraid to take shots. He likes to give his receivers opportunities to catch the ball. So we knew that when the ball came out, we had to make him pay for it.
What was it like watching Jaden Daniels have the year that he had this year?
Yeah, it was exciting knowing that I played with Jaden Daniels and see him get the success I have. I was happy for JD.
When you going up against him in practice, what was that like, or how much is that helping you kind of get to this point?
It was fun. Going against him, Malik, PT, every day at practice, first round draft picks, they just prepared me for this level.
Right. You can't go up against better than that every day.
At all.
Have you by chance met with Washington here?
Informal.
Thank you.
guys changed defensive coordinator, assistant, things like that at LSU. How do you learn? I'm sure there's so much change going on.
You just got to lock in what you play for. That's a lot of questions. And try to pick the DC head.
With your body, physically, are you where you want to be, or are things you're still working on there?
I'm where I want to be.
Okay, weight, everything.
Weight, injury, I'm where I want to be.
Excellent. No, go ahead.
Any expectations at the combine in terms of times, things you're going to do?
We will see tomorrow.
Are you going to be a full participant?
Yes, sir.
I love that. When you are working on your drills, right, DB drills, some of them, I mean, every drill is important. I don't want to denigrate any drill, but usually there's one drill that's a favorite because it really helps you. What drill you think translates the best to playing?
The W drill or to open up your hips. You have to get in and out your break.
And is that something because of your length that you've really had to work on?
I feel like every corner needs to learn how to get in and out his break, so just things like that.
And then coming downhill in the run game, you're as you said, you're proud of your tackling. When did that click for you? When did you become a person who really took pride in and got good at tackling?
If I'm being honest, this past season, coming off my ACL injury, I couldn't just be a lockdown corner. I had to show the scouts that I'm willing to do everything out there in the field, so I had to improve my tackling.
And if you're playing in a more zone-heavy system, what are the things you want to show that you can do, as you said, from the mental side?
Read the quarterback, pick balls off, and just things like that.
Excellent.
When it comes to your game, but when you get press coverage against opposing receivers, does the way
I feel like that week was pretty normal. Of course we knew who we were playing, but I don't think we went above and beyond to just try to game plan around them.
I like to be physical with them, go up and time with them.
I feel like a lot of people can do it. It's not a lot of people did it. And he was actually one of the ones who did do it. And I feel like he did a great job at it. Something that I will bring to a franchise is, of course, my skills on the field, but I feel like all of my coaches in my previous years from Little League and up, they prepared me to be a great man in life. So I feel like I'll be a great man and a wonderful person in the community. I believe I met with them.
The receivers it was fun.
It's good being in the same room as them. We roomed at the East-West Shrine Bowl and here, so that's been good because we did that throughout the season. That's been good to be beside him throughout this process. But holding hands, I wouldn't say we do that.
Melo, when you're preparing for like a really small, quick guy who's going to get in on his breaks really quickly versus a big-bodied guy who's going to lean against you, push you off, things like that, how do you prepare yourself differently for guys that are going to attack you differently?
I never really changed my game. I feel like I played the same each and every week, and I don't think the size of the receiver matter. I just feel like you got to prepare yourself the same every week.
How much has your preparation kind of evolved in college, and having Kobe with you as well? Like, has he helped you? Have your coaches helped you? Just as you remember your time when you first got into college to now, like how much has your preparation kind of?
Our first fall camp in 2020, he was there with me. I feel like he helped my game tremendously. Kobe's been somebody that's been with me throughout this process from college to now. Like, we've been with each other a lot. So I always wanted to pick up something from his game, like such as pressing. I was more of an off corner. He was the one that's going to get up and pressure. So he helped me out a lot throughout this.
What are some of those techniques that people think about pressing is easy, but in reality it's pretty hard to kind of learn when you're not used to that?
Like you said, it's those bigger receivers who just gonna get moving at the line, and those quicker receivers who gonna make a couple moves. So pressing is not as easy as it seems.
Now you guys, of course, played Colorado. What's it like covering Travis Hunter?
He was everywhere on the field. I don't know it was a good challenge. He was definitely one of the good receivers in the Big 12.
How do you feel about his talk about wanting to play both sides of the ball?
I feel like he can do it. I feel like anybody can do it. If he want to do that, he can do that.
What's your favorite defensive back drill and why?
Any of the ball drills. I love working. I love working, high pointing the ball and being able to get the ball in my hands.
And first thing it asks you to do is special teams when you arrive as a rookie DB. What do you like about special teams?
It allows you to be fast and physical. Something that you're not used to. You're used to going through your indie drills, backpedaling, ball drills, feet work drills. Special teams allow you to just be anything that you want to be. Like as far as if you're a receiver, you can go down and tackle, and that's something special about special teams.
Are you catching punts and kickoffs every day now?
Nah, I never did that, but that's something that I talked to my coach. Like, I played with my coach about doing stuff like that, but I never really did.
But you're not doing it now?
Nah, I would do it though.
You should probably start working on it just in case.
I would do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, informal. It was good.
The only time I was home.
And he wants to play both ways 100% of the time. The Giants, they need a number one corner. The Giants, they need a compliment to Garrett Wilson. Maybe that's Travis.
You said the Giants need a compliment corner, and you said the Giants need a compliment to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say Garrett Wilson, not Blake Neighbors. Did I say that? Like they.
Yes. How we doing? Well, I get to talk to Noel about his attempting to gift wrap that interception to Wood, and he of course dropped it.
Correct. Like Owen just told me, he said press man corner, and I'm like, all right, I'm here.
That's all I need to know.
They're big and they can press. Him and Craig and
Zach and Owen and Zach. So Owen, and are you still coaching Owen?
Yeah,
my man, doing real football stuff. I like these fakers.
Wow.
God bless you, man. That is
a lot of work for not a lot of money.
Yes, right.
Recruiting, like last night was at establishment. 11 o'clock at night, I get a message from a senior in school. Hey, bro, I just hit a game winner in a playoff game. Check this out. I was like, I will text you tomorrow.
Run to the men's room and check this out.
No.
You know what I mean.
No, that's good.
In the most respectful way possible.
Dude, I'm currently recruiting class of 2026 kids while we're finishing up our 2025.
Nice.
Before spring ball starts next month. Before we done.
Anybody you like? You looking good?
For in the class of 2026?
Yeah. How's it looking?
High school kids?
Yeah.
Children. Sean Considine's son.
Yeah, that's how you say it to Bill here. You say whose son and grandkids.
Oh God.
And he'll be like,
Well, I mean, I scouted Jim Lachey. I remember both these people's fathers.
That's what Riston said. He's like, amazing. I remember watching his dad at Ohio State.
Oh, he was telling me yesterday he's getting close to a third generation.
I mean, it's coming. It's coming.
He's terrified.
I mean, so the big thing on Jason Taylor was like his actual weight. He was listed at 242, hard. He was playing at probably 230, 225. Right. He's the skinniest, like, tough football player I've ever seen. He was, yep. People say looked like a basketball player. He literally looked like a basketball player in college.
Never, like Shaquille Leonard with the Colts when he first came to Indy. 205.
Yeah.
205.
Grow up.
All pro.
Grow up. Be an adult. Grow up.
Multiple-time all-pro linebacker. 205. Yeah, no, guys were like 230 for the combine. All the down. Cut it when season started. Dropped it all the way down to
right, because he wanted to be able to play.
Well, he wasn't taking on a block at either way. He wasn't going to take on a block at 200 or at 230.
Right.
So.
Hey, at least get back all the quickness, right?
Did anyone ask Tyler Shuck if he was like considering a career?
Creating a career?
He's 26 years old.
Oh, a career. That could be like insurance? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, an insurance. One of those things.
I was checking out your LinkedIn profile. Good morning.
Morning.
So, Noel, I talked to your teammate who attempted to gift wrap you to whom you attempted to gift wrap the interception at the Shrine game. Did he ever formally apologize?
Yeah, he did apologize. I mean, we both could have caught it, so I apologize as well.
But you were setting him up because you're selfless.
Yeah, but I feel like I could have got 2 hands on the ball and originally made the interception.
But it was a beautiful play. Tell me about what you were doing coverage-wise there.
It was just man coverage, just using my technique, eyes, feet are clean, and was able to get a good jam to the sideline and get my head around and get a piece of the ball.
Are you physically where you want to be in terms of your weight and everything?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing everything here? Sorry.
It starts in the off season, just building that confidence, working every day with my team, and just applying what I, learned throughout the years to the field, and just trusting my preparation.
When you get 14 interceptions,
Yeah.
you consider that maybe your primary
Yes, that's the biggest strengths, my ball skills. Just playing the play I was coached to do, and the ball kind of just came right to me. I was in the right place at the right time, so, and then ended up cribbing it. It's been good just seeing familiar faces I've been working with. We're all chasing the same goal, the same dreams. It's really a blessing. We push each other every day. Every day is a competition. Who can get the most, INTs, who can get their hand on the ball, who can get the most forced fumbles. We're just pushing each other. Being around talent like that only helps my game.
Cal has become lightweight DBU. Talk about the tradition and all the guys that have come back to talk to you about making the jump to the next level from Cal to the NFL.
Yeah, a lot of great DBs came out of Cal. They paved the way for me and my teammates, and I keep in touch with a couple of them, got to work with a couple, so I'm just blessed, they paved the way and made it a little easier for me to get, to this point. They kind of put Cal on the map, and I'm just, I help continue that.
Have you met formally with Dallas Cowboys?
No, sir.
You met with them?
Informal. It was good. Detroit and Philly.
Are you going to do everything here? All testing?
Yes, sir. Informal, yes, sir. I feel like I'll fit good. Any team that wants to, take a chance on me, I'm willing to go.
Have you met informally with the Rams and the Chiefs?
Yes, sir.
And do you feel that having multiple stops for your collegiate career prepared you for the jump to the NFL?
Yes, sir.
How much did you guys
we mix it up a lot, we would call certain plays depending on who we're going against and the scheme they use. So, but our defense is very versatile. Ricky White at the Shrine Bowl.
What was your experience like going through the offense?
It was a smooth experience for me. Cal it had many familiar faces there. They treated me like family right away, so it was a pretty easy pick. Tenacious, ferocious, fast, physical. He's everything that you want in a linebacker.
You made mention of Ricky White. What makes him so special?
Just his route running. I've been going against him for some years now. So he was an old teammate of mine at UNLV.
Right.
And he for sure has gotten better throughout the years.
Walk me through a week of practice and game film. What are you trying to key in heading into game time?
First, you go over ND&D first and second down, and then move on to third down and red zone throughout the week. But while doing all that, I kind of pick up the patterns of the offensive coordinator, what they're trying to attack, what their favorite plays are, and then also key in the receivers' release packages and how to get out in and out their breaks.
What's your favorite film study play? A play you could only make because you spotted something on tape.
My favorite film study
play, yeah.
That I've made, a play that I made?
Or at least helped to make, right? Where you were able to see something on tape that put you in the right position.
I like setting receivers' release packages, and I feel like that helps me a lot throughout the week, putting me in good positions at the line.
So what's a game where we could see you put that into play?
Stanford, Auburn.
When you went back to the Buccaneers, you know if you met a position coach or a scout?
I think it was just a scout.
Have you met with Detroit Lions yet?
Yes, sir. It was a good meeting. I mean, great people.
Which corner who's your favorite corner?
For sure, Pastor Tan, he put on clinic teach tape, so he's a good DB to watch. Yeah, he's a little bigger than me, but I feel like we got a familiar frame, similar frame.
You're regarded as one of the most physical cornerbacks in the draft. What are some of your biggest skill sets that you would rank?
Just added value to the team, playing special teams, willing to do the dirty work, and my ball skills, being able to plug and play anywhere else. So, yeah.
What's the best tackle you ever made in the game?
Best tackle I made in the game?
Yep, best tackle you ever made.
This year, Wake Forest on kickoff. The best tackle.
Why that one?
It was just, I got to contribute on special teams and go down and make a play.
Thank you.
How do you describe your personality that you bring to a locker room?
I'll say just a hardworking, again, adding value to myself and to the team, willing to do the dirty work, and a player that's willing to learn from the vets and just help win the Super Bowl.
What does leadership mean?
First off, one of my favorite plays, I was covering you at ASU, man. People forget this play. You intercepted J.D. Daniels, right? One-on-one, Johnny Wilson plays for the Eagles. He's 6'6". What do you remember about that play?
I remember on that play, just make sure to keep outside leverage. I knew I was going against a tall receiver, and basically force him inside to my help, and ended up getting a good jam and saw the ball and ended up coming down with it.
When you look at, your entire time in Ventura County, Oxnard, what are you most proud of, those people there? I mean, they wear it, they're extremely proud of you. What are you most proud of?
Shout out to 805, shout out Oxnard. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without the people in my life down there. So I'm just proud of, people like Mike Moon, even going to Mesa with you. So, just honing my skills, being able to, be in an environment to grow.
And one last thing, bro. When you look at, your potential NFL career, I mean, we talked about this, and ever since you were a kid, man, you said you were going to be here, now you're here. What does a successful NFL career look like?
Winning a couple Super Bowls, a couple All-Pros, just leaving a better person overall, better teammate, just being a good teammate, being known as a good person around the league, creating relationships.
Who from Cal's DB room has a chance to be the next guy up here at the podium at the Combine?
That's playing at Cal now?
Yep.
I would say Cam Sidney.
Woodson picked the same guy. What makes him stand out?
I've just seen a lot of growth from Cam Sidney. Just over the years, he's a smart football player, has all the tools, smooth, fast, also has great ball skills.
Thank you.
What about your time at Cal is preparing you for this moment?
Just being around the right people, from the support staff to the coaches to the guys, just helped me grow, learn more about myself, and just the competition at Cal, and just really being around good people. That's what helped me grow the most.
Your route recognition is elite. That's why you have all those interceptions. When was it that clicked for you? When did that come into, like, you got it, like, now I know, like when you really could read guys?
I feel like I always had that ability, but it really clicked this year in the off season. Just going through spring and fall camp, I just felt like my skills were just at an all-time high, and they could always be better.
We just saw a Super Bowl, all that too. We just saw a Super Bowl where pattern matching, right, in cover 4, cover 6, cover 9, helped win the Super Bowl. Tell me about your approach to that, to pattern matching defenses, and how did you learn to unlock that?
I think it's just a good tool, being able to play man and let routes kind of go to certain areas, letting routes go, but also matching them down the field. just controlling your eyes, being able to, you know, have zone eyes at time, man eyes at time. So it's a good mix up for QBs.
Used two terms I love, zone eyes and man eyes. I played a little safety a million years ago, but for those who have never had the experience, what does that mean? Zone eyes versus man eyes.
Man eyes, you know, just locked on the person in front of you, and zone eyes, I would say, cluing the QB or just the formation.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, have you had an opportunity to meet or speak with the Dallas Cowboys?
Yes, sir.
Was it formal?
No formal.
You're a ball hawk, obviously, 7 interceptions last season. What would it mean to potentially join a defense where you also get to bring that, but learn under a guy like Trevon Diggs and Ron Bland, 2 record-setting ball hawks?
It would be great, just opportunity to work with those ball hawking DBs. You know, I watch their film, so it would just be a great opportunity for me.
What do you feel is your biggest opportunity to help you get to the next level once you get to the program?
My biggest opportunity is tomorrow, you know, showing what I have, you know, to showcase my skills.
When you talk to Cam, he's a guy who's been asked to play a few different positions already as a young player. What has he told you about if they say, hey, go do this, go do that? What have you done to get yourself ready in case they say, play a little corner, play a little slot, play a little free safety, all those things? What do you do to get ready for that?
Just film study, being in the film room, being in the playground, asking questions, asking new questions, not making the same mistake over again, making new mistakes, you know, always finding something to work on.
Who's the guy going back that we're not talking about right now at Cal, but a year from now we'll all be talking about?
Cam Sidney.
What about Cam stands out?
He's fluid, he has ball skills, he's played multiple positions, and he's a hard hitter.
Who's a freshman that if you had to bet your first NFL paycheck on to make it to the league in 3 years, he would make it?
I'd say Jaden Young, Jaden Young, I think he out of Sierra Canyon, and the guy, Caden Cook, those guys, I feel like they have a good opportunity to be where I'm at.
And who's the toughest guy you saw in a game this year?
The game, probably Cam Ward.
Why Cam?
Just the throws he makes and his ability to extend the play.
If there's one play you wish you could have back and do it all over again, what play would that be that you would pick back and do it again?
I'll say Oregon State, the last play, in the fourth quarter. I would say that was the play I would want back.
What was the call you guys were in on that play?
We were in trap cover 2. I was supposed to just play underneath, but, you know, ended up seeing the wrong signal, but, you know, stuff happens, you know, just be more locked in.
Talking about playing against Cam Ward, playing against a guy like that, what type of challenge does that present, and how do you learn from a guy like that?
Like I said, just him extending the play and making sharp throws, being able to dissect the defense, making those, you know, throwing those tight throws in windows that it's like, you know, sometimes it's like, damn, like.
Going against a guy like Fernando Mendoza in practice, how does that kind of help you prepare for those types of challenges?
It helps me a lot. Fernando's a good QB. He can also extend the play. He can also read coverages, you know. I see a, you know, bright future for Fernando.
Thanks, Noel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Noel.
Oh, yes. He's back. He's back.
Good questions there.
Try not to ask the same questions they've been asking a million times.
Gotta get covered, gotta get zone, gotta go on blitz. Just grab your sign there. Great, thank you. BBN, it's your boy Mad Max. We're here in Indy. Come to show tomorrow.
Are you doing everything here?
Yes, sir.
Love that answer.
Nah, you can't get that shot.
What's the best part about being in Denver?
The best part, really just the family, the culture of the guys there. Everybody's there to be great. You know, I think that was the biggest transition I had going from Indiana State to Western Michigan was everybody wants to be where they seen the guys get to the next level, like Marshawn Lee. Everybody got to see him do that. Everybody's seen the work he put in, and they're in. At Western Michigan, you have opportunities to do that, and I think just the family and the culture, everybody's going to be great there.
Bilal, what did the Senior Bowl do for you in your process getting ready?
It just helped me realize where I'm at and what what else I need to develop, where else categories that I need to develop in. Seeing the guys there, everybody's there to compete, everybody's there to be great, yeah, but everybody has a goal to be the best, and it just helped me showcase my talents a little bit more, show teams there that I do fit in and I will fit out as well.
So what did you decide to work on after that experience that you had?
My ball knowledge of the game, just being more confident up on the board, and also my man coverage ability, definitely.
Let's say there's somebody that is not familiar with your game. What is the one?
I got you.
Let's say there's somebody that is not familiar with your game. What is one game you would tell them to put on that tape and watch you to get an idea of who you are?
Go watch this whole season that I just had.
Booyah! Teams that like long and strong will like him.
What's up, man? Hey, how you doing? Good. Yeah. Today was definitely a lot better than yesterday.
Yes.
The defensive line guys did. I'm glad I missed you.
It was like kind of like high and by and then it's like crickets.
Yeah.
There was it feels like an hour and 20 minutes at one point. Nothing happened. Am I going crazy?
No. Yeah, Derek Harmon. He didn't even come to 2:30.
Yes. That was yes, that was. I thought
I missed that.
Yeah, you didn't.
I got here about 10 minutes after they closed the credential window upstairs.
Okay.
Oh wow. So who do you like so far? Oh, I'm here with Corey Woods.
Oh hey, how you doing?
Who do you like so far, Corey?
Oh man, I like Malachi Moore. I thought he was really good. He had a really good interview. Talked about just the guys that his Bama boys that are not playing with the Detroit Lions, and just the fit that he had, how much he's learned from Brian Branch, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Well, he's a smart guy. I mean, football's a super smart guy.
Yeah.
All the Bama guys know ball, right? I mean, that's the one thing you can count on. They might not work out, but it won't be because they don't know what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Anyone else that you sort of have on your little list that you want to see?
I saw Kobe Bryant. So I spoke with him. He sounds like a Dan Campbell guy. If you guys don't know, I cover the Lions.
Yes.
So the one thing that really stuck out to me about him is he sounds like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder from people that have been doubting him because of his size.
Yep.
Kind of reminds me of Michigan's Mikey Samuelstill.
Yeah.
He's a guy that I'm looking to see who's going to do well at the combine.
You guys should check out Jacob Parrish too, right? Wrestling background.
Okay.
Tough as nails. Not the biggest kid, but he'll put it on you. And amongst the tight ends, did you get to talk to Jackson Hawes?
You know what? We were actually filming our podcast on MLive.com. We were filming our podcast because we were saying, hey, I think we're pretty good at the tight end since we got Sam Laporta.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but he's not your number guy. No, but have you seen Jackson Hawes' blocking tape?
No.
Okay, check it out. Check out Jackson Hawes enjoys blocking. Okay. Some guys block because they have to. He gets to block.
Yeah.
He was talking about how when he made the jump up from Yale, how at first he'd been like Lockett's man up, whatever. Then he gets to Georgia Tech, it's like 4 points, right? Boom, 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 right? You're hitting him with the whole top of your body, and you're trying to eat. In the Georgia game, he knocked a few guys on there. Full point of contact. Yeah, he wants to block. If you're looking for a blocking tight end to go with, whoever else you might have, that's the guy to check out.
It was nice to meet you, sir.
Oh, the pleasure's mine. Well, you'll be seeing me because we'll be here until it's over.
Whenever it's over.
Whenever it's over. People always talk about quote unquote mental reps, and obviously you prefer to be out there doing everything you would like to do physically, but sharpening with the part of you that can still go full out, your brain.
Say what up?
Obviously you've got to take a lot of mental reps, as they call them, because of fighting back from the injury. What are the things you're doing right now to sharpen your brain, getting ready for the things you're going to be asked to do in terms of multiple coverages and things like that?
Well, one thing I'm doing now, like every night in my room, I'm drawing up coverages that we played in Minnesota just in case any team wants to know what we did. Every night I'm still sharpening my details on that. And even back at Minnesota, one thing we did with mental reps where we would stand behind the defense and you would get in your stance, take the right steps as a guy that was actually in the practice or in the game doing, and it really helps you out a lot.
a communicator, what are the things that will help you if you're ever asked to be the guy that gets guys aligned back there?
One more time, sorry.
As a communicator, if you're asked to be the guy that gets guys aligned in the back end, what are the things that will help you to do that?
I think preparation is the biggest thing. Coming from Minnesota, we prepare a lot. We prepare every week like we're playing the best team in the country. And when you go on the field prepared, you're able to communicate anything you need to communicate.
Who helped you to? I'm sorry. Who helped you to unlock that? The film study, the student of the game part of your game.
I really think Coach Monroe, because he came in right before my junior year, and he really brought that aspect to my game, more of like the mental side of it, like knowing what to call, when to call, and not just knowing what I'm doing for myself, but helping other guys get the line and getting the right coverage there.
Thank you.
I'm just curious, are there guys you watch in the NFL or guys you like to take certain parts from and kind of apply them to what you do?
So here's the two guys. One guy's Trent McDuffie. He's a guy that's very versatile. He plays inside, outside. Very good at man coverage, very good at zone coverage. And another guy is Kenny Moore. He plays the Colts. He's a smaller guy. He plays a lot bigger than he actually is. And he plays in the box a lot. He's really a nickel that really shines and I look up to.
Are teams saying nickel or teams saying like corner? Like what are those discussions been like in terms of where you fit?
Both nickel and corner. A lot of teams see me as both guy that can play both of them. And that's why I feel like my value really is where I can play inside and outside.
Watching the Super Bowl and watching a nickel be one of the big impact players in that game, what was that like for you? Now you're trying to kind of, maybe good timing for you as you try and prove yourself as a nickel type player?
Yeah, it's a great time because really nickels are, it's not a newer position, but it's a position that a lot of guys are excelling in a lot more now. And it's becoming like a true starter on the field now. And pretty much every defense uses a nickel. And just to see guys make plays at nickel is just it makes me look forward to something.
Played in a great conference. There's some receivers you've gone against over the years that have really challenged you or impressed you?
Well, one of the most impressive receivers I've ever faced was Daniel Jackson. He's on my team. I went against him all 4 years of my career, and to this day, I really think he's one of the best receivers I've ever faced. He can do anything. He can run any route. He got great hands and just an all-around great player.
Other teams? Anyone from other teams?
Felton from Maryland. I know going into that week, we really emphasized on limiting him to what he could do, and he really showed how very versatile he was. And so, yeah, he was pretty good. I also think Tyler Warren, he is a receiver, but he basically played anything, and he was a very good player, too.
In the Super Bowl, we just saw the power of pattern matching defense. What's your approach, and what's helped you to understand how to match patterns?
Really just my knowledge of the game, knowing what route concepts come at what times. You know, if you see a certain route, that you may get another route behind it, and just the knowledge of the game really helps you understand what offenses are trying to do.
What are the defenses that you are most familiar with so far that you've played?
Quarters. We ran a lot of quarters at Minnesota. Quarters and man coverage. I'm pretty familiar with both of those. But we also ran cover 3, cover 2.
Do you ever jump into like quarter, half, cover 6, things like that?
We ran a lot of quarter 6 my first two years when I had Coach Rossi. You know, he really likes cover 6. But yeah, I'm pretty familiar with it.
And if someone wants to see you as a tackler, what's the game you show to show that you as a tackler?
I think Wisconsin. I had a pretty good game tackling. I think that was my most consistent game tackling and the game that I really emphasized tackling the most.
And do you know if you'll be full go by your pro day, or will you not be able to go by then?
I get a CT scan the week before pro day, so it all depends on how that goes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Kevin Coleman, he was a great teammate when I had him. He made great plays on the field, off the field. He did what he was supposed to do. So I appreciate him. And even in practice, he gave me some work. So I think he made me a better player each day. Just his lateral movement, like he real quick.
Quincy, what did you take away from Senior Bowl week?
Just competing against the best of the best. So like really preparing me for the next level. Because each week you're gonna go against the best people on the planet. So just going down there and being able to compete and dominate, I feel like I'm prepared early.
As you head to the next level, what do you think is your strongest attribute?
Taking the ball away.
Those balls that you mentioned, like how did you go about developing?
I want to say I started playing baseball real early, like when I was younger. I played short and center, so track and ball, that kind of became natural to me, but catching is just like every day on the jug, just doing what I need to do just to make sure I see the catch.
Quincy, you were also.
I feel like they're off the charts. Like I can different toolboxes. Like I can be soft, aggressive, and man, and press technique. Like I don't gotta use my hands all the time. My feet work very well. So I think that's setting me apart. Like other players, they probably get over aggressive just because they think they got to press at the line, use their hands, but really you play press with your feet.
Quincy, you're a 100 and 200 meter champion in high school. As a track athlete, how much has that helped you, and how has it helped you to excel at a speed position?
I mean, that helps a lot, especially when you playing corner. You're doing everything backwards. So to have speed, to like if you get beat, they have catch up speed. So I think just working on that mechanical running and knowing how to run and when to use your speed, I think track really helps a lot.
What play would you point to show somebody that sprinter speed that you have?
I'd probably say I was an off man to the field last year, going against USC. What's that? He a fast guy at USC #1. Well, he was at USC Branch. Yeah. He ran to the opposite hash. And like he pretty fast, so if I keep up with him, probably keep up with anybody.
Quincy, I was able to speak with Rock Carmichael last week, and you talked about your training. So tell me a little bit about Rock and some of the ways he's helped you as a pointer.
Just showing, he been around the game a long time, so just showing me pointers here and there. Like if I feel like I lack something, I come talk to him about anything. And like just on the field, he know the ins and outs to it. So just pay attention. You soak up a lot being around him.
Those press man skills that you say are some of the best in this class, is that something that you really were able to develop during your time at Louisville?
100%. Like being on Steve Edwards, like he taught me a bunch of techniques. And like in the NFL, they just use this technique called peer step a lot. That's my first time using it when I got under him. So I feel like I'm already ahead of the curve.
What impact has Steve Edwards had on yourself as a player?
A lot. Like he made me never feel comfortable with myself, no matter what. After that guy, no matter how far I came in college, like every day he never like made me feel like I'm above anybody. So he was a hard coach, and I appreciate that.
Of course, you spoke with your teammate, former teammate Jarvis Brownlee. He had more reviews about you. He said you're a solid teammate, solid guy, loves football. What part of you, or what have you done in your life to be able to cultivate that love for the game and get yourself here?
Just each day you always got to go out to the field with a plan. Like no matter you want to work on this, work on that, just 1% better no matter what you do. Like growing up, I always been on a mission. Like now I'm on a bigger mission. Like my grandma just passed, my grandfather passed, so like I'm doing it for them at this. But at the same time, I got a passion for the game that I love having fun with. So that's what my mindset be every day.
And then you played at Murfreesboro at MTSU before you won the Louisville, so you're very familiar with the Tennessee scene. Have you spoken to Jarvis at all? I know you guys probably still close.
Yeah, we met Jarvis real close. So with him going before me, like he let me know the ins and outs too. Like even picking up from store and duck, they all teach me like this process. So I'm already ahead of the curve. Like I was saying, like even going to the Senior Bowl, then not come to the combine. Like they told me every little thing I need to know.
You mentioned needing to have a plan every day you go out to practice. If you had a practice later today, what is that one thing you want to do?
Just one. It's probably more off man, working more so off man, because now you gotta be able to play press and off in the league. So I think that'd be my focus going out there. Be patient in my off man.
Quincy, this week have you spoken with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yet?
I have spoken with Buccaneers.
Was it formal or informal?
Informal.
What would it mean maybe teaming up with Yaya Diaby again?
That would be nice. Like when I first got to Louisville, that's one person I looked at, like he was already ahead, like he was leading everything, like whatever he do, he was prepared. So I really looked at him when I got to Louisville.
What can you say about his work ethic? Just the journey that
it's off the charts. Like for that being that big, that fast, like you can see like where he get it from. He actually put in the work, like staying extra hours, staying watching film, like bringing somebody along with him. So he a great guy.
What do you think prepared you the most for the draft process?
My coaches being at Louisville, like just being in that program, like everything they do is they try to relate it to being in the pros. So every day they want to teach you how to be a pro. Even at meals, just learn how to be a pro at meals, talking to people in the community. Everything just pro about that program. I have not been Pittsburgh Steelers. It was informal at the Senior Bowl.
What is your most memorable moment as a collegiate player, and has the Bills been in contact with you?
The Bills, they have been in contact with me. My most memorable play, my most memorable time in college was the 23 season when we went to AC Championship. We lost, but doing that in Louisville, that was big in history. That's the first time they ever been to AC championship. Just wish we would have won.
Me. Well, where were you training at through your process, and who did you connect with very well, and what did you guys just teach each other about the game and just about life?
I was down in Dallas at Exos with Brett Calloway. I met a guy named Jade Brown, and during that time we was just every day going miles away just to get extra work in, cold to recovery. So like we just piggyback out each other, telling each other about our stories in college, and to becoming closer. Like I think that was big. Just finding somebody that's good at this level, that got a bright future ahead of him, and seeing what he do differently that I didn't do, or what I did and he didn't do. So just colliding and just making this time a great time.
One more thing. Has anybody ever told you you look like Lil Baby or Lil Uzi?
Nah, most times people always say I look like Lil Durk and Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, Teddy. I see the Teddy Bridgewater.
Have you spoken to the Dallas Cowboys?
I have spoken to that. It was informal though.
Q, your decision to come back, like I believe it was a late decision. But what
100%.
went into that, and what did you gain? Like, what has gotten better for you to go to this next level?
What went into that just my coaches, teammates, the community. Like I was saying, the year before we went to AC Championship, that was big in history. I'm a big guy. I want to leave my legacy wherever I'm at. And so, like, just coming back, I feel like we was gonna go back and win it this time, AC Championship. Knowing I was coming back, getting coached very well, getting developed very well under Steve Ellis and Jeff Brown and Ryan English, and being with Reno another year, the shrimp coach. I feel like he changed my body tremendously. Like, and Sean Love, the athletic trainer. So like just being under those guys, I feel like I would take my game to another level and be prepared.
Was there something specific you wanted to work on and improve?
Coming back to college, I really want to work on just maintaining my body weight, more muscle, coming back being more aggressive in game wise.
But what was it like going against Corey Brooks in practice?
That's crazy. Every time a scout asks me like who you played this season, like they give you a challenge, I'd be like, can I say practice? And if they say yeah, I always go with him. Like just his route running, his love for the game, he passionate on the field. Like so he in practice, you think he playing in the game. Cause like if he make a catch, he screaming. Like he letting his presence be known in practice. Like everything we do, we always compete in practice. So I feel like going against him every week will prepare me for the game. Like I feel like nobody was better than him in the game.
Quincy, as more and more combination coverages and pattern matching, we saw the Super Bowl, right? The power of pattern matching.
Yes.
What are the things that you've worked on to get ready for that, and who has helped you the most in that process?
Like I'm saying, this go back all the way to end the season, in the summer. Like Steve Ellis with the X's O's on the board, he always teaching me football. Like even if he think I know, he always gonna just over teach it sometimes too. So like just being under him, like he gonna always teach football, and let you know like it ain't just about the physical on the field, like running, tackling. You gotta know what's on the board. You gotta know what you're looking at while you're on the field, the mental part of the game.
You trained in Dallas, but you're from South Carolina.
Yes.
Carolina barbecue or Texas barbecue?
Definitely South Carolina barbecue.
You talk about legacy. You ever look at what Jair Alexander was able to do and kind of strive to have like that type of impact?
100%. Like that's like when I first found out Jair, that's way before I got Louisville. He always been my favorite corner. To this day, he's my favorite corner. So I like when I'm watching NFL tape, I always look at Jair like even like ultimately his confidence is out the roof. So like that's what I try to pick up off. Like when I pick up something about him, like we know he's good on the field, but like where you get it from, like his swagger on the field, just everything about him, just like he's number one, like top 5 in the league.
Who you think is more feisty, you or him?
I'm more feisty than him.
Why do you say that?
That's just my competitive spirit.
Chris, you mentioned going up against Corey Brooks in practice, but how much did it help you going up against Tyler Shuck and knowing the bounce back year that he did?
Man, it was amazing. Like I tell everybody, like it's plays in practice. Like I've seen him throwing the ball. Like a lot of college quarterbacks would never throw this ball out there in their life. Like I don't know, they afraid to throw it to the field. Like I play to the field a lot. So like with him, he like throw no look, sidearm passes, look off. Like it's really a challenge. So when I pick him up, I be like, okay, I did something good. Like we come dap each other up. So he let it know, like, okay, you're pretty good. Like and just how he lead around the locker room, just playing with him, it was just amazing. I wish I had another year with him.
Through this process, you're so heads down in so much football. What do you do off the field to kind of unwind or reset and, get your mind off the game for a second?
I've been training a lot. So off the field, when I feel like I'm applying pressure, I'm under script, I probably go sit in some water, listen to music, just something real natural, and like that's helped me out in the day. So that's kind of part of recovery, but I like to sit in water a lot.
Going back to your days as a Blue Raider, if there was a opponent or teammate you could bring up to whatever level, right? And you think could one day be here on the podium. Who'd you face back at MTSU you think could one day be in the NFL?
Did I face or I played with?
Either one or both.
That's tough. See, that I played with a bunch of guys. Some guys that's older than me. I say like Tedra Ross, Corian Patterson. They played corner with me. They was older than me. Lance Robinson, Richard Kenley, those type of guys. Like I seen what they did at Middle Tennessee. I wish they had chances to. Actually, Richard Kenley, he came to play with me at Louisville. He was on our D-line this year. But like Lance over there right now too, playing O-line. He about to shine. Like he trying to get his time, get his feet on it. He been hurt. But like, yeah, those type of guys. Like,
Yeah, I'm shocked the Corian didn't stick somewhere. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, like I learned a lot from him. He learned a lot from like his last year of college. Like, but yeah, he was a great player.
Quincy, can you talk just a little bit about bringing to the next level?
I mean, teams see me like they see speed, they see my ball skills, they see everything, but really come from with inside. Like I said, I'm on a mission, so any team that get me, like they gonna know I'm on a mission. Like I said, like this for my family. Like I don't just want to keep putting it on my family, but it's really for my family. Like for my grandfather passing, he never seen none of his grandkids make it to the league. So like I'm really doing it for him. My grandma just passed when I was at Senior Bowl, so now like I gotta finish it. There's no need to stop now. My mom just beat cancer last month. So like everything just falls into place for right now. So I gotta keep going for them.
I don't think you're
When you see the Bills,
I'm not too much familiar about the Bills. Yes, sir.
what are the things in the next level you think you need to learn to get kind of
I think I'm gonna learn more of the game, just being like going to an organization, being on a 5-year, 6-year vet, just picking back off how they maneuver through the league, how they learn ball, like the different route combinations, because it's all gonna be different colleges. I feel like it's gonna be the same athlete, but just like different, like from the X's and O's, being a pro, being off the field, like whatever. Like once you get in the league, like everybody know you can play, but what you gonna do like to separate yourself? So just finding one of them pros that can get under and just follow their lead until I'm ready to lead.
Quincy, your tackling isn't talked about enough. If you have to show somebody one game of you as a hitter, what game do you show them?
I say you go watch it play. It was on a trap play to the field, and I hit the running back for NC State. That was 2023. Or you could say there's a lot of games. You just turn on the tape and see me like throw it in there a little bit.
Two more questions for pre-game style. Are you thinking more statement or comfort?
Statement, 100%.
Ooh.
I always like
dream designer then.
Chrome Heart or Marc Jacobs or Louis Vuitton.
Love it.
Last one for Quincy.
Have you had any formal interviews with teams and
I met with the Chargers, I met with San Fran, I met with Detroit, Seattle, and I met with Washington.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Of course, have a good one.
You were my favorite coin right at the Senior Bowl.
You know the championship. That's what that was.
Yeah, you were my favorite corner at the Senior Bowl.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it.
I love your
Yes,
tape.
sir. Thank you.
That kid's got a bright future.
all the teams you know? You said the Seahawks,
Chargers, Detroit, somebody else.
Seahawks, Chargers, Lions, San Fran, and Washington.
Washington, yeah.
Ready?
This is the room. Sweeping the room. Sweeping the room. There's PFT, Chris Sims Unbuttoned, CBS Sports, SiriusXM, Bleacher Reports, everybody.
We're still waiting.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, we're supposed to be here, what, about 40 minutes ago?
Nice.
Yeah.
This is where you earn it. What's the old Parcells quote? This is why you lift all them weights. Yeah. So yes, we've reached hurry up and wait portion of the Thursday's combine experience, which happened more Wednesday. So I guess this is an improvement.
Everybody came back on people to say I didn't talk to him. You said
That's not confusing. This is not like a podcast.
He's saying that he went to PR and like, he took much about content. So then, well, he was taking shots on us. He was, bro, I'm like, that's what I was thinking about
So while the NFL media staff doing a walk and talk with the players, sort of letting them know, warning them about us, the evil media. she didn't say evil, but she says that we will push it, and some of us do. Some of us do try to sneak in a few extra, like I kind of sort of did with Quincy. But I had connected with Quincy a little bit at the Senior Bowl, and I wasn't blowing smoke. He was my favorite corner. Oh, my back. Oh, my sides. Oh, my knees. But he was my favorite corner there. And the only thing, it's not even a big knock to me, but he's older. He's a 6th-year guy, so he's going to turn 24 before the season begins. But, he's got everything else that I want in a corner. Speed, tough enough. He's not a brutal hitter, but he's a solid tackler, There's, once again, hurry up and wait. We've got a delay, not as bad as yesterday, where we had several really long delays. This is the first time there's been a huge sort of gap of dead time.
My friends were down there for a college game day when it was there.
I can't believe how this cleared out.
Yep, and then it'll really clear out.
We just watched only 5 minutes.
Yeah, isn't it always the way?
I get 30 years.
So something happened in medicals maybe, or, oh, wait, we may have an announcement.
Should be pretty soon.
Yay, thank you. You're doing
But it's like at any time. Yeah. So that's the plan. Soon's better than done.
Yes. So appears that Benjamin Morrison is on his way shortly, possibly, definitely, maybe.
Last year, the gatekeepers and Zach Frazier. He did it for the Steelers. Ended up drafting him. We had to wait for yesterday. I got it with Derek.
Oh, yesterday was worse. Yeah, this is not that bad by comparison. See, that's a good thing. Right now we feel not that bad.
Yeah, we got back to the hotel.
We thought she was orange. That's why she's like, oh, I work. Now I know who she is.
So yes, the wait continues for Benjamin Morrison. But the good news is they did not take his placard down. The good news. I was afraid at first he was coming to take the vote.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Well, I've seen that happen where you're waiting and waiting, and they come and take it down. Like no.
Last year, Sweat ended up. It was like 6 hours later. So they sent an email out like, hey,
yeah, they did send an email. They did send an email. I'll give them credit for that. They sent an email out at least.
I talked to Porter pretty extensively at Senior, so I didn't talk to some of the Senior Bowl guys, like Steelers talked on this one. So we try and identify the Senior Bowl guys, and then we look at the Triangle guys, and we try and look at who is at neither. Usually those are the ones that the Steelers ended up talking.
There you go.
Yeah, the other thing that's shocking to me is the Rams.
Oh yeah.
Their head coach, and none of the coaches.
This is like the year 2 or 3 of them for them.
So I don't know if that's arrogance or they know more about it.
I forget what they said last year. They just don't find value in. They said they could do just as much information gathering during the visits as they can here. So.
Which is true-ish.
Yeah, I mean,
But you know what, though? I remember talking to you about San Diego. This is years ago. I used to always come here because I wanted to see what these guys in person.
Yeah.
And you look at Andy Reid's here, Carroll's here,
Yep.
John Harbaugh's here.
Tom was here, but he didn't talk.
He was here?
Yeah, he was. He came
just
through.
doesn't talk.
I watched him play in high school.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he went to Denby High School. I went to Green Run, which is in Virginia Beach, but he was in
You watched
Chesapeake.
Tomlin in high school?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched Vic in high school, Iverson in high school.
Back in his receiver days.
Yeah, yep, he was a mouthy little receiver.
Was he?
Oh yeah, he used to chat it up, man. Oh yeah, ask Tomlin about his approach to playing. You heard him. I saw Tyrod. Tyrod and Vic went to the same high school, obviously. He played for Tommy Riemann, the legendary Tommy Riemann, who coached all those guys out of Minchville.
That's a athletic area.
Oh yeah, I saw Bruce Smith. 2 of my cousins played at Lafayette with Lawrence Taylor, basketball and football.
Did Moses come from there?
No, he's from Petersburg.
Okay.
No. I'm from Chicago now. I'm in Chicago now, but I grew up out there.
What do you do in Chicago?
Some of this, some of that, a little bit of the other.
Yeah.
Writing, content creation, I guess is what they call it. Like what I'm doing now, just streaming, whatever.
Do you work
nothing.
for yourself then? Or?
I work with. Well, I mean, I'm not an employee of anybody, but I work with. This one is Zennie62 Media. And then also Team MBS Sports, which used to be called. Look at you! Look at you! Look at you! But of course, I have nothing but respect for Steeler Depot, obviously, and yeah, we know people who know each other.
Sure.
And the Steelers have a different approach to everything from everybody else. I'll just tell you that. They don't do what other people do, the way other people do it. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's
Yeah. People right now are not so hot on it, but you got to take the bad with the good.
There are times when people are like, why don't they do what other people do?
Yep.
This year we're going to be aggressive in free agency.
I met your colleague from Team MBS.
You probably met a couple of them, God.
At the Senior Bowl.
Oh.
He lives in Florida.
Oh, you met Jeff maybe?
Jeff,
No.
yeah, Jeff Barnes.
Yeah, you met Jeff Barnes. Yeah.
Is he here?
I thought he would be. Maybe he's coming tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him yet.
At some point. He should be coming. But yeah, this is a good year for the less easy, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a year for people who don't really care about football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, other than Shador, like, if you don't really care about football, you know about Shador. But, like, for people who understand, like, how you actually build a team, this is a great draft.
Oh, yeah.
When people are whining about this draft class, it's like, you don't know that. I mean, that's how I know you don't know. If you don't like this draft class, you don't know.
Well, people just look, are there quarterbacks? No. Okay, this sucks.
Right. But you only have one of those, right? And we've just seen that that's not all it takes to build a team.
Correct.
So, yeah.
It's a great year for what won them the Super Bowl.
If you need interior offensive line, interior defensive line, tight ends of various types, right? Other than the 6'2" can run 4-3 receiver. If that's what you're looking for, you don't like this class. But if you want anything else, if you want the big guy who runs 4.56, or if you want the little guy who runs 4.3 something, that guy's there for you. Your slot is there for you. Your big body possession guy is there for you. It's a really good class unless you're looking for, like Julio Jones. But guess what? You won't find him this year or next year. Probably not the year after that, actually. But you want to wait a while for that. I've been asking myself that same question because it's such an interesting class. I still think people are somehow slipping on Nick Nash. It feels weird to me. Like, what does this guy have to do? He has to run fast. I guess what he has to do to get people to actually like him as a prospect. I'm only the most productive receiver, like by a long margin. Like it's not close. Like it's not even like this guy behind him is like way behind him, and people are like, oh yeah, lower level competition. But I mean, watch him against the Pac-12 teams he played. Watch him against. He's played some good guys, and he wasn't like he went out there and like, took a dump in his helmet. I don't get why people don't like him more. I can see why you don't think he's a first rounder. But people who's like fifth or sixth rounder, it's like, well, maybe he runs a terrible time. Maybe I can buy that. But if he's there late in the third, and I need a receiver, especially my what I call possession plus guy, why wouldn't I take him?
I like Jalen.
Oh well. Yeah, Royals. I like Royals a great deal. He's kind of like if you were to take Ayuk and Deebo Samuels and somehow they had a baby together. That's it. There you go. Right. It'd be a very special child, but
his name's slipping me with the Washington State kid.
Oh, Williams. Yeah. Kyle Williams. Yeah.
What do you think of Tez Johnson? Tez, I mean, he separates. He looks great. It's just like he's tiny. Yeah.
He is very, very small. Yes. He's in the. And people don't like this group, but he's in the same group with. We just talked about Tutu Atwell, and then obviously Tank Dell was off to a great start, and then he gets hurt. So,
here he is.
Oh, it's happening.
How you doing?
We're very happy to see you.
Appreciate it. Likewise.
Well, I'm just going to ask. How are you doing physically? How's your body?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Obviously, we all know what happened this season, going down with the hip injury. But got cleared about 4 to 5 weeks ago by Dr. Philippon in Vail, Colorado. So I've been down in Fort Lauderdale training, getting ready for. I'm gonna have a private showcase. The date is still to be determined, but I'm gonna have a private showcase. So allow the teams to come out and see what I already know about myself, but allow them to see it for them.
Where are you in terms of your weight and things like that?
Yeah, so I'm fluctuating right now. I'm around like 190, 192. Good weight. I played at 188 before I got injured, so I'm happy where I'm at with that.
We just saw the power of pattern matching in the recent Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know pattern matching. You live pattern matching. What advantage does that give you over someone that's only maybe spot dropped or played man?
I don't know. There's pros and cons with all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it really comes down to the scheme that you're in, and that's how it comes down to you got to execute that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Benjamin, forgive me. What was the doctor's name?
Dr. Philippon, Mark Philippon in Vail, Colorado.
How'd you get connected with him?
One of the best. He is the best, and that's why I went there because I knew the future that I wanted for myself. So I wanted to go to the best.
You said a private showcase. Does that mean you won't be working out at your pro day?
No, sir. I could if I wanted to. I could have forced it a little bit, but just give myself a little more time. Just put my best art out there because at the end of the day, you're gonna be valued off of what you do out there on the field. So I'm gonna give myself maybe 2 extra weeks, 3 maybe, then go from there.
When you were on the field, what do you think you showed on your tape?
Yeah, I think I'm just a versatile corner. I think I'm a productive corner. The NFL is about productivity and to get the ball. I think when you look at my stats, I was a very productive corner. I'm around the ball. And it's not coincidence I have those type of numbers. So I think that's the biggest thing I showed. And I think off the field, the biggest thing I showed is that you guys don't see that I pride myself on is the teammate I am. Being able to be around my guys in the locker room is a truly special feeling, and I love that. I love them. So yeah.
What's one area of your game then that you want to get better at the next level? You feel like is not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, definitely need to improve when I'm my hands at the top of the route. I know I got good feet, but I need to start using them and activating them more. You can kind of get lazy and use your hands at the top of the route and grab a place you shouldn't grab. So I understand that I can be classified as a little handsy corner, but that's gonna in due time will be fixed.
In the Benjamin Morrison one-man combine, will you do everything?
Yes, sir. I mean, obviously there may be things I don't do, but the main things like that they want to see, I'm gonna do. So we haven't sat down and put all like logistics together and figure out what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. But the things that they want to see, I'm gonna show them.
Have you met with the Buccaneers this week?
Yes, sir. I have.
Is that formal or informal?
It was formal.
And how'd that conversation go with Todd Bowles and some of the other coaches?
It was good. I mean, obviously, just the opportunity to be in front of a coaching staff such as them was special. You dream of these situations, and it was a cool little coincidence. I didn't know my dad actually played with him, so we talked about that in the meeting. So it was a good interview. I was excited for that one. understanding their needs and stuff. So I was really excited.
Have you met with the Raiders?
Yes, sir.
Was it formal or informal?
Yes, it was formal.
What would it be like? What would it mean for you to go play for a coach like Pete Carroll with such a rich history of defensive backs?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at the Legion of Boom. Growing up, I idolized the guys like Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, things of that nature, all those type of players. So to know that he was one who taught them a lot of that stuff, and he was one that was leading the charge, was pretty special. So it was kind of surreal growing up as a. I wasn't a diehard Seattle Seahawks fan, but I mean, when they were making the runs, yeah, I was pulling for them. So sitting in front of that coach was special.
Meetings with teams so far.
Excuse me, my bad.
I'm sorry. Have the Packers met with you?
Yes, sir.
Formal?
It was formal, yes.
And that was how long ago?
Whatever day we got here. Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, one of the days I've been here. All the days have been the same.
How did that go? Was there anything memorable that came out of that interview?
No, I mean, they're all the same. I mean, getting to know you, watching film, just trying to get down to who you are as a man, really. That's how the Packers went. That was a good one as well. I mean, they all went well. There's always things you take away you wish you could say differently. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you get 20 minutes to put your best foot forward and hope they like you.
When a scout turns on your tape, what do you think jumps off the most? And conversely, do you think there's anything you weren't asked to do in college scheme-wise that you can still bring to the NFL level?
Yeah, I think obviously, like I said about my ball productivity, I think that's one thing that jumps off the tape. I mean, 9 interceptions and 18-plus PBUs, depending on the website you look at, in 2.5 years, I think is a pretty good stat line, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what's, like, I hope that jumps off the film when they turn me on, and things of that.
Were you still attend Notre Dame's pro day to, like,
Of course. No, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, like, Notre Dame gave me so much that I'm in forever debt to that university just because of the people I've been around, the people who they surrounded me with. So, I mean, I'm going to be at the pro day supporting my guys. At the end of the day, I mean, it's a team sport, and I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for those type of guys and for the coaching staff up there. So I'm going to be there as many days I need to be there, even if that means I got to push my pro day back a little later, because I wouldn't want anything more than to cheer on my teammates.
What did you do formally with the Bills?
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay.
No, sir.
What about the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I did, yes. Formal, yes, sir.
What met with Mike Tomlin? What's that like?
It was cool. I mean, I was anticipating some black Air Forces, but he didn't have those on. But I mean, that was a dream come true. My mom's from Pittsburgh, so growing up, looking at them, always a dream to meet him one day. So that was a surreal moment. But also, you got to understand it's a job interview, so I couldn't be fanboy or anything. I understand. I got to show them who I am, and also get to know who they are.
What have you learned about yourself just through the highs and lows? You've had a ton of success, had the injuries, watched your team go to national championships. Like, how do you kind of square it all and just deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the most challenging year of my life. I was being quite honest. I mean, I've had, like you said, the highs, and then you're faced with these trials, and you're really have to look yourself in the mirror and figure out who you are as a man. So I mean, I think this all will be a blessing in disguise with this injury and with it where I'm at in life right now. So I think for me, it's just like, all right, like, look, like, you've been dealt this hand this year. How are you going to respond? And I can't allow it to defeat me. I got to come out on top, and it just grew the love of the game for myself, actually, just because being on the sideline, it's a little different. And I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't envious of my teammates out there playing the national championship. I mean, as a competitor, that's what you want to do. That's why you work in the off season so hard. So I wanted to be out there, but in the day I had to support them, and that's what really allowed me to understand how much I love this game, because I was willing to sit on the sideline and cheer my guys on and help them, because Coach Freeman always preached about team glory, and I believe in that.
You've shown your ability to get your hands on the ball and excel in coverage, but being a cornerback is also about run defense and being there in that. How do you feel about your run defense going to the NFL? And in your eyes, what makes a corner a great run defender as well as a great coverage?
Yeah, good question. I would say my run defense is good. Obviously, area I need to improve on. I think we all know that. But I don't think it's a physical issue. I think I go in there and make a collision, but after you really evaluate your film, I looked at it and I figured out like it wasn't a physical issue. It was more so just proper technique, driving my feet when I get to contact, understanding that off of the team I'm at or any team I'm at, that there's going to be defenses I got to be in the run support. In the NFL, every single down matters. I mean, that's, if you look at that could be the outcome of the game, that one play. So understanding that, it's a job. You're getting paid to do well, to tackle, to get the ball, get interceptions, all that. So understand that's just my job, and I'm going to do what I have to do to get them down.
What role does film play in your run support game?
Huge. I mean, we always say preparation is my separation. So I think for me, any film study is gonna help me separate from my opponents. So I mean, that's about it.
You've played in a very multiple defense. Of all the defensive calls that come in, which one's your particular favorite?
Man.
Okay, gotcha.
In August, you kind of called Leonard Moore being, kind of the player you turned out to be. What did you kind of see early on in him, and how did you kind of help him after you got injured?
Yeah, he just reminded me a lot of myself. I mean, he came in with his head on straight, head down. wasn't trying to be someone he wasn't. He will be up here in 2 years. He will be. I'm gonna say this. He'll probably be the best cornerback in that draft class. And I mean, that's just his preparation speaks for himself. I mean, for him to come do what he did this year was truly remarkable, and I'm so proud of that kid. Being able to be his roommate, and just being a small little part of all the success he had, truly brought me a lot of joy.
You got to help you grow, kind of taking on maybe a mentor.
Yeah, being selfless. I think that's the biggest thing. I learned to be selfless. I mean, it's not going to help anybody if I'm just sitting on the sideline, not helping the guys to best benefit the team's success. So understanding that, I mean, I gave him everything he needed. I mean, I'm saying if he had a question, I'm going to answer it, but I'm not going to overstep. He was already well-trained before he got to Notre Dame. It wasn't anything that I did or Coach Mickens did right away. I mean, he had the foundation, he had the willingness to learn and take it to the next level.
If a teammate found themselves in a similar situation with the injury as you and asked for advice, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just be patient with yourself. Understand, like, it's going to be hard. I think I'd be lying if I told you every single day was perfect. I was in denial some days, mad, frustrated, like, why this happened to me. But, I mean, that's just the coping mechanism I believe that you got to go through as a man, as a player who got hurt. And I think that's the biggest thing, is being patient with yourself and understand that it is going to get better. I always say this too shall pass. In a year, this probably would be one of my greatest blessings, and I can't wait to look back on it.
You got to do battle against Marvin Harrison Jr. a couple years ago. Just what do you remember from that moment, and what did that game maybe teach you about, like, where your game is going up against a player like that?
Yeah, no, that was a very high caliber player. I mean, we all know what he did in college and what he did in the NFL. He's going to be an amazing receiver for years to come. But I also understood that was going to be an opportunity to really put my name on the map. Had a remarkable freshman year, but why not go stamp it on a national stage like that, and kind of let the world know what I already know. And that's why I went in with that game. I think a lot of guys can get into the mindset of getting caught up in who you play. But at the end of the day, like, my mindset is this: you got to go against me, really. So it doesn't really matter who you are. But at the end of the day, I mean, Marvin Harrison is 10 times probably one of the best receivers I've gone against and probably will go against for many years to come. So it's going to be fun.
Have you spoken to the Dallas Cowboys?
Yes, sir. It was formal. It was good. I mean, just like all the other ones, getting to know you, getting to know the coaching staff. I mean, it's only 20 minutes, so not much information you can get out that fast. We've got to watch film and also having personal questions. But, I mean, it was a good time. I think all those meetings are special because it shows that the team's interested in you, and then just trying to build that relationship.
Having missed last year, do you feel that it's, you have to kind of sell yourself a little bit more to some of these teams because you don't have the tape from last season?
No, because I think my tape doesn't lie. I think you got to look what I've done. Like I said, all my productivity, the things I accomplished in 2.5 years, I think can take guys 4 to 5 years. So, I mean, I don't feel as if I got to sell myself. My main priority right now is to get fully healthy and then just show the scouts what they want to see. But no, I don't think I got to sell myself on my film or nothing like that.
Benjamin,
what are you going to do with your pro day?
I mean, it's nothing, like I said, is set in stone. But obviously, I mean, we know the big things. They're going to want to see me run. And I know I can run. I'm not going to set a time that my exact 40, but I know I can run. That's the main thing that we all know that this is what this whole thing's about, is seeing the speed. So, I mean, we all know what the main question is, am I going to run the 40? And the answer is yes.
Ben, what's the process of going through this week like with the medicals and then asking you all kinds of questions about how you are going to?
Yeah, I mean, I just came back from the hospital just now. I mean, as you can see, I'm the only DB here right now because I had obviously had the surgery, so mine's going to be a little more, like closely looked at, if I say. So, I mean, it's been tough. It's been challenging. You can second guess yourself a little bit. I mean, it's a roller coaster. I mean, I'm just in the van getting transported over here, and I'm in my head like, dang, this is tough. Like, I dreamed of coming to the combine, things of that nature, and I'm here, but now it's like this is hard. Like, it's hard on the mind. I mean, 20 years old, man. I mean, everything I want is in front of me, and then I just feel like every single time it's there, I just have some type of setback, but I know that each setback is just going to pull me back farther to just catapult me forward. So I know that something great is on the horizon.
Did they give you the results of your tests?
Consideration.
Say it again?
Coming back for another year, a la X,
Mhm.
was that something you gave a lot of thought to? Was it tough not to?
Yeah, obviously, just because of the understanding with my injury, but it really came down to the magnitude of it and understanding of how severe it was. And once I found out the time frame, I was like, let's go get it. And once I found that out, I was like, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go show that I'm still the player who they see on film.
In terms of special teams and playing other positions, being moved around, what are you doing to prepare for special teams and for perhaps being asked to play, a few different spots in the back half?
Shoot, as long as I get on the field, I'm fine. So I don't really care where I'm at, if it's special teams, the inside, outside. As long as I can get on the field in the National Football League, I'll be okay, and just build my name from there.
And are you studying tape sort of to get your mind in, if they ask you to slide in or things like that, to get ready for it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what team you're going to go on, so it really comes down to scheme base, and a lot of it at the end of the day, football is football. So my defense will be the same as some. Obviously, there's going to be some new nuances and stuff, but at the end of the day, football is football. So I'll be able to adjust off the team I go to.
If you're asked to be the communicator, the guy that gets people lined up in the back half, are the things you're doing to get ready to be the guy that gets guys lined up?
I mean, at the end of the day, football is football. Same game I've been playing since I was 9 years old. So if I got to be the communicator, I will be. So I'm excited for that new journey.
What is your
Thank you.
philosophy in run support?
My philosophy run support, I mean, get down, make a play. I mean, that's really it. That's the main thing.
No,
So,
but is that as important to you as breaking up a pass downfield?
yeah, I mean, the game of football is about the football. So whoever has the ball, if it's the runner, if it's the catcher, I mean, you got to get him down. So I feel at the end of the day, like, it can change. If that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. So whoever has the ball, I got to disrupt it. So that's what my goal is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Did you say he was going to run the 40 here?
He's going to no. He can't do anything here. The hip isn't quite good enough, and he's not going to be able to go at their pro day. He's having his own private showcase. He says he's going to do. He didn't say everything, but he says
So
do.
he's not 100%.
Oh, he's nowhere close. That's why it took him so long to get here.
No, I understand. I thought it was because of the test that he took down.
Right, but I mean that it was the medical, right? So you may not know, you may know this already, but even if you're 100%, they almost try to injure you. If you're not 100%, they're going to take your leg and put it behind your ear. They're trying to find out just how far you are. So yeah, that's why he took it so long. Well, that's the last of the players who are here for media availability. So I'm going to go up to the workroom. I may talk to some of the guys up there, and I will probably eat something because my blood sugar's low. But I'm going to take one last sweep around. I can't believe you are this small now.
Man, there are some days I don't feel this small anymore. I got down to like 255.
Really?
For a while.
Mike Webster's weight coming out of college.
Yeah, I'm a little bit fluffier than that now, so we're working on getting that back under control. I got to keep up with Dad. He's the skinny one.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. Your dad's unrecognizable.
I know. Just got shoulder replaced yesterday.
Oh.
Got a brand new.
Just showing off?
Yeah, I think he wanted to improve the golf swing. He went out and played that American Century tournament the last couple of years, and it was bad.
Yeah.
So I think he figured a little more shoulder flexibility would be the way to go.
Right. ABC always be
Change it.
There we go. I was trying to figure out something about. I was thinking about clavicle, but I couldn't make it work. But there's not really a good verb for clavicling.
No, yeah, always be clavin. I'm not sure. That's for smarter people than me.
You having a good time?
Yeah, no, first time out here, so it's been good.
Get out of here.
Yeah, never been. So.
Wait. I was short. They didn't bring you here to show off your skills?
No, there weren't many skills to show off, so they let me sit that one out and you showed up pro day, the few of them that actually came.
It's a really nice group of interior offensive linemen. Have you broken those guys down?
I started to a little bit now. It's an interesting class, especially because in talking to a lot of the guys that do more of the draft analysis full time, like a lot of Derek Zoolander, call them slashies, like even for the guys that have been at the top of the board for a while now, Will Campbell out of LSU or Kelvin Banks at Texas, everyone's kind of wondering, depending on arm length, depending on height, would you rather kick these guys down on the inside? And it's always a more complicated formula than that when it comes to an offensive lineman that's actually built to make that kind of transition or needs to. But it's interesting to see the versatility.
I'm going to give you a deep cut, deeper cut. So Coastal Carolina, then North Carolina. He's too small.
Willie, yeah.
Yeah, he's too small, but I can't, every time I watch him, I love him more. Now, luckily, I'm not an NFL GM because I would take him and I'd get fired.
Sure.
But because I love him so much. But, I mean, that guy's understanding of where to go, what to do, and his leverages.
Yeah, low man wins is the axiom that guy certainly seems to live by. It's fun. I was watching Amari and Hampton on the way out here just for fun because I saw Mel Kiper's last mock had him as the second back off the board in the first round. And my favorite part of watching tape is the guys that end up distracting you. And Willie was one of those guys that just jumps off because he is so tenacious, because he understands how to play with his body. Like, you get coach technique for the position as a whole, and then it's your job to kind of figure out how I tailor that to my specific needs.
What's the Russell Wilson quote? I wasn't 6'3" Thursday and then woke up this height today.
Right.
I figured out how to play at this height.
Yeah, a guy I played with briefly. I went to camp with him as a rookie, but in Pittsburgh, John Malecki was a Pittsburgh standout back in college, and then played a number of years in the NFL for the Steelers. Was one of the first guys that I really talked to who was like, hey, listen, like for me specifically, these are some of the things that I do to offset my limitations physically that might give me some problems. So, and for a guy like Will, it's going to be interesting. I mean, he is really on the underside of the spectrum for so much stuff.
Tiny. I get it, but
it might be tough. You'd love to see him give a chance because, again, just technically, tenacity is spatial awareness is all really.
I mean, he's might be like an arena Hall of Famer or something.
Oh man, I tell you what, you got him over the arena, that guy would be raising hell for a long time.
I just hope somebody gives him at least a little bit of a chance. That's all I hope.
Yeah, no, it's all you can ask for there. But I mean, getting an invite to the Senior Bowl, getting a show out there, like he's already gotten his foot in some pretty impressive
he had a good week.
doors.
I don't want to. This giant gentleman is apparently waiting to. Oh, really? You're not waiting?
No, I am. Let's just say hi.
Oh, I'm going to back away.
What's up, buddy?
What are you going on,
How are you?
It's Benji Morrison up there talking again to the peoples.
I don't think
I'm going to probably swing by Radio Row also. My shoulders and back are starting to bark at me, but I'm going to hit the workroom upstairs in a second. Some people doing some walk and talk, some stand-ups. You look like you're battling a cold, my friend.
Huh?
Are you battling a cold, my friend?
I am.
I think you are too.
It's just cold air in here all week.
Yes. Well, it's not the best thing for your health.
No, and then I think just being surrounded by so many.
Yes. Well, you take thousands of people from all over the country, you put them in an enclosed space, and then you make it 60 degrees all the time.
Yeah.
So feel better soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Radio Row next and then upstairs. As I said, the bow has now been wrapped around everything down here today. Florio and Sons. Big Steve.
Maybe make some moves on the market.
Special.
as far as the city, what do you get a sense from?
We'll take it up with the league obviously.
Man, I love it.
Chicago in the house. Jeff Joniak. Always a pleasure to see him here. Emery, there he is. My man.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm just wondering was I going to finally see Emery Hunt. 'Cause now now it's a real combine experience. Like it was a fake combine experience until this very moment. Now, I was going to protest. Like, we got to stop this thing. Like, this can't continue.
TJ, man.
Hey, pleasure, sir. Anybody you like so far?
Actually, I just got here, but
Oh, all right, that works too. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, all right, I'll see you over there. Okay.
Do you have a minute to talk running backs? If not now, then soon.
We can walk and talk. I'm gonna go grab some.
Yeah, let's walk and talk.
Okay.
I think people are wrong on this running back class. I'm just gonna be honest. I think.
Oh wow.
I think they love the wrong people. I think Quinshon Judson's more people's number one running back in your mind.
It's like it's flavorful, right? It's you know, it's running backs about flavor, and it's what you like. You know, you may like a big back, you may like a shorter, quicker back, you may like someone that has a little bit more,
A little bit of everything, yeah,
everything, right? And so I think it's all about flavor. There's no wrong answers.
I shouldn't say wrong. Wrong's. I think they are ignoring certain things.
But, right, and my thing is when you see some guys not getting talked about how they should, but it just makes the story better. And I just feel like somebody like that is going to get his just due. My guy, Leger Douzable, came up with a great comp. I think he said came up with Josh Jacobs. And I can respect it because that makes sense.
It's not a bad comp.
So he's going to be a starter. I think as long as you find starters, you're good.
Yep. I think Baishal Tutin's better than most people realize.
Started at
More of
AT,
a,
you knew that.
right? Yep. More of a third down-ish kind of guy, but I feel like people are sleepy-ish on him. Where are you on Cameron Scotabo?
I like Scotabo. I think he's a foundational back, so that's somebody that can start your game. He could be a closer, he could be a 4-minute offense guy. Those type of guys you need to get. And I think Scotabo is very underrated in how he is as a complete player. He can catch the ball. He can block,
throw the ball. He can punt.
So all that stuff that matters, man. He's a foundational guy. He's not a spot duty guy.
His contact balance, to me, is like, there's no one close to him in my mind, right? I mean, his contact balance is like way up here. Right. And I'm trying to think of, like, he's probably in the top 6 guys I've seen in the past 5 drafts, right? You have to go way back to find someone who's even comparable in that. Fell in love with him at Sacramento State, which is how I found Jackson Slater also, right? It's like, who's that guy? Open up the big asshole. Oh, that's who it is.
That's who it is, right.
Who do you like that you think people are sleeping on in this running back class?
I would probably say the Ole Miss backs. There's both of them. Bentley, and there's another guy that's quick and fast. Is not here. Number 21, I believe is. His name slips from mind.
The bigger guy. Yeah, I knew you're talking about.
But they all have explosiveness. They all have speed. But I would even give you one that's here in R.J. Harvey. I feel like Harvey is the Ray Davis of this class.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So they both got the wiggle.
Right. He'd be 6'1", 225 if he had like normal length legs.
Right.
Yeah.
One guy I really like. It reminds me a little bit of a diet. Matt Forte is Jaquinda Jackson.
That's another one of my
Good,
guys.
Good, good
I think people are a little sleepy on Jaquindon, and I just. It's funny you mentioned Bentley. Bentley was recruited to Ole Miss by a very good friend of mine, as you probably know, and so we talked about him off and on for a few years. And he said, he battled injuries for a while,
right? And
I think if you look at his tape when he's fully healthy, I'm not saying he's like 4.4 flat, but he's sub 4.5.
He's gonna fly, man, and if you can do the fly, like that's kind of what you know what I'm saying.
Are you going to be around here?
Yeah, I'm about to go grab lunch because then I got to do CBS at 2:45.
Okay. Yep. Well, I'll walk with you for a while, and then. Oh, I will not walk with you. You win. You got that. Okay. I'm heading upstairs. Okay, so we're on our way upstairs to the. Well, I'm actually gonna grab some water. Oh, it's that choice. Okay. A little water from the water break has choices for both cold and room temperature for those that like warm. Lukewarm's not my thing, so I'm going to have some cold water. And then I'm going upstairs and talk to some people and gather some notes and get ready to break down some players.
You're all over the place.
I'm trying to be. Heading to the workroom.
Where do you live in Chicago?
Do you know Chicago a little bit?
Yeah.
So I'm right off 9094 by 68th Street, literally 2 blocks off the highway.
Oh, on the south side?
I'm on the south side.
Yeah. I'm from Racine, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Bucolic.
Not too far from there.
Yeah, well, Racine is relaxing.
Yeah, it's a smaller town.
Oh, yes, I've been through it.
It's right on the lake, so I've been there a while. I like it.
As people like to say, a great place to raise children.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Particularly like anybody's interview questions or answers or whatever, like anybody really strike you from the prospects you saw?
Yeah, good. Texas.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive.
You're a man that takes care of everything. You're a man that takes care of everything. You got to do it. A man in full, that's the term.
I'm excited. Thank you.
It will be a little less view-centric once I get in the working room. Thank you, sir. And here we are, media workroom, to do some media work. Who should I bother today? I found the guy I'm going to bother. Good to see you. But of course, they can't have the combine without you, Doug.
Well, no.
Do you have time for me to ask you like 2-3 quick questions, or are you busy? I feel like people
like the wrong running backs in this class for the wrong reasons. Does that sound crazy?
What do you mean?
I think that.
So I didn't know you were coming.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's okay. I feel like there's a focus. Okay, people want a guy who's 220 and can fly. I get it. That's fun when that happens.
Right.
I feel like there's really good backs that either because they are not super fast or they're not big enough are being overlooked. Okay, I'm just going to say something. I look at a guy like, say, and he's good sized, and maybe it's because he's in a platoon situation. But I look at Quinshon Judkins and I think, what is there not to like? Maybe I'm missing something.
Well, the thing about this class of running backs, and it's true with defensive tackles too, is there are so many different types, and teams, GMs and coaches are excited about both of those positions in that you can win in so many different ways.
Yep.
So you've got like Brandon Bean. James Cook is talking about his contract. Maybe you want Travion Henderson over Quinshon.
Maybe then it makes sense.
Because it makes
Styles make fights. Got it.
Styles make fights. Right. Absolutely. So, as far as who likes what kind of running back, I mean, if you're talking about analysts or people who just watch it and try and judge it from the outside, I mean, we all have our own preferences. If we're going to evaluate, we have to overcome our preferences and try and be as neutral as possible.
That is impossible, but I guess you work at it. You work at it. Yeah, you work at it. Yeah,
I like mobile quarterbacks. If I see a pocket guy who can't move, I'm like,
oh, we got to hang out more, Doug.
yeah. So I think in this, as far as what teams want, it's so deep. John Schneider of the Seahawks is talking on Monday, I think. It's Thursday. I'm lost. Like, too much going on. But he said he's never seen a
Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
Yeah, he's never seen a class of backs this loaded, and it's not just.
He's not wrong.
It's all the types.
He's not wrong.
Right.
If you want a 230-pound thumper, there's a few of those.
You can.
If you want 100,
well, you can also double dip.
Which
you
is
want to.
Why should be pretty smart.
And
be pretty smart.
I've talked to people who have anywhere from 35 to 40 draftable running backs in this class, which is unprecedented.
If I get, say, Ollie Gordon into the third, and then I come back in the sixth and get Baishal Tootin, I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
I'm a happy guy.
There's a lot you can do, and it just allows you to tailor what you want to your overall run scheme.
So, and of course, I understand with your own baked-in prejudices, preferences, whatever. Who are the guys that someone says, "Hey, Doug, go get me a running back"? Who are the guys you start with when you look at this class?
Oh boy,
I know it's a tough question.
Well, Gianti is obviously special.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I got to talk to Bijan Robinson at the Super Bowl during the week, and Bijan was my comp for him, and I said, I comped you, and he said, yeah, I've actually watched 3 of his games, and I agree. He is a lot like me.
Well, that means you nailed it.
Yeah.
Confirmation there.
Oh gosh, I love both Ohio State backs. I love.
I love them both. Like I want to make sure that I make clear that my love for Quinshon Judkins is not me not liking Henderson. I just feel like if I have someone I need to also, I also need you to get 2 really ugly yards. Also, I'm going to take Judkins. That's what along with all the other stuff.
It reminds me when Isaiah Pacheco's healthy, how good he is at getting skinny through gaps. It's like,
that's why I need to sit and watch tape with you.
Much.
I 100% agree.
This much and bang.
I 100%
Pacheco
agree.
was so good at that.
Yep.
He was a real force multiplier in the Chiefs 2023 season.
And they missed him. I mean, he wasn't 100% at any point this year, and you could see it.
They missed him a lot. They didn't have a rate. So, I mean, I could wax on for 20 minutes about different running backs. I would say Judkins, if you're looking for a full-on, like, he can do, and you're taking Gianti out of the, because obviously, I mean, I think he might be the best, outside of Travis Hunter, who's an alien.
Yes.
Gianti might be the best player in this class if you just take out.
Bless you, Doug Farrar.
I mean, he's right there.
Yes.
I like Hampton a lot. The Iowa kid, just a smooth
Caleb.
runner.
Yeah.
Who can just power through. Plus, he was playing against 12 damn boxes because he doesn't have a passing game.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Get him to the team that
Man,
can throw the ball, and you never know.
What's the story you write every year about Iowa football? Just a quarterback away.
Just a passing game away. Yeah, we're gonna drag him kicking and stream into the 1920s. It's not even so much that there's one guy; it's that there's every kind of guy.
There is.
That's what teams are.
Where are you on
excited about.
Scatterbo?
What's that?
Where are you on Scatterbo, Cam?
He's interesting.
He's fascinating.
He's interesting.
He's
I
fascinating.
like how they use him outside the. I mean, he'll line up at wide out.
He lines up at the X sometimes and takes off
Yeah,
deep on
he's
deep
an
routes.
X-Ice, he can do that.
I
So
know.
he could be wasted with the wrong team if they don't.
Yes.
If they don't, I could see him with the Niners.
I could see him with the Niners. Oh, he'd be ridiculous with the Niners.
I see what Joe Brady kind of wants to do with his three-headed running. Well, four with Josh Allen.
Yes, right. Yes.
Let's say they do move on from.
If they do move on, right? Yeah.
Or Ray Davis, they have the third down guy. There's.
Yep. You know where I like him? It's funny you mentioned. We didn't mention him, but you mentioned somebody that reminds me of him. I could see him tandemed up or whatever with Aaron Jones, right? Because Jones is a guy you want to take a little bit of the load off, and he can do everything too. He doesn't do everything back, but you don't want him doing everything all the time.
Right.
And if I get a chance to take hits off, and particularly in the, tight area where you're going to take big hits, Genty doesn't care about big hits, or he takes them better than. I don't think any running back.
135 tackles last year.
I was saying, I've never seen a running back in this entire class take on contact and not let it bother him almost at all.
His contact balance is thermonuclear. I don't use generational, but his contact balance is generational.
I'm trying to think of the last time I saw somebody like that, and I've got to go back. I don't want to compare him to like Earl Campbell, but it's
tough to.
It's hard to come with somebody recent, I guess, with that kind of
I
contact.
think Marshawn had that adjustment.
Marshawn
He had
is
the adjustment
close
skill.
as I
He
can
ran
come.
He ran like a crab.
Yep. Yes, right.
He would just, he would be able to reset himself and all the famous runs.
Yep.
But that's so important for a guy his size, and he has the contact balance to power of a guy who's 20 pounds heavier.
Right. It's like someone trying to tackle a moving pyramid. You know what I mean? Like you kind of.
Yeah, that's tough. Not easy to do. But yeah, this class of backs and teams are all over it. Like we can get whatever we want.
And they should be.
Yeah,
this is your chance.
It's a huge
Take care of this now. Don't let this
It's like
opportunity.
the quarterbacks last year. You better do it now
Because now what happened to you if you didn't take care of it? Now you're like, there's some teams that are going.
Some work to be done.
There'll be some mistakes made.
Yes.
Somebody's going to talk themselves.
I can fix him.
I hate this, but I know someone's going to talk themselves to a third quarterback in the first round. They shouldn't do it. Don't do it. But they're going to do it.
I can fix him.
Somebody's going to talk themselves into.
I'm Wile E. Coyote, super genius, man. I can fix him.
Okay, I'm going to leave you alone after this. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I'll stop recording after this. If there is a third quarterback, and there shouldn't be, everyone smart agrees there should not be. Who do you think who do you think they talk themselves into?
I can speak to who I like fundamentally, and it's probably the guy I wouldn't talk myself into it either, but if I had like gun to my head, you have to pick a third quarterback.
The ever popular gun to your head, yes.
Probably Jackson Dart.
God, we are too much alike.
Movement skills. He's a boot rollout guy. Yes, I know the pressure. Yes, he needs work.
He needs work on everything, but boy, is he unafraid
good
of
stuff
stuff.
is good.
Yes,
he's unafraid, but it's not in a kamikaze roller coaster.
Right, I didn't mean that.
No, I understand.
But I mean, like you can see that if he's in the right situation with the right coaching, he could be the one where like, oh yeah, it worked out.
Yeah. By the way, that was also Josh Allen.
Yes. Who I'm going to admit I missed
Could
on.
not hit the broadside of a bar.
I'm going to admit I missed on him.
Missed.
I'm going to admit
Everyone
I missed on him. I said, hey, if you really are patient with this kid, you'll get a really interesting, like high-level backup, right? I thought he'd be an exciting, like fascinating project. And then I will give him credit. That kid worked his ass off.
Well, if you look at Brian Dable.
And yeah, Brian Dable.
Gave him a ton of man beaters. Got him comfortable.
Yep.
The work Kevin O'Connell did with Sam Darnold last year.
Yep.
I mean, because Darnold had never been good. So essentially, he was a rookie in that this was the first time you saw the whole Sam Darnold package.
Now you see why it is somebody talked themselves into him as a third
overall. So when we say
overall
that a
pick.
quarterback needs coaching, we're not being derogatory. We're not slamming the quarterback. Every quarterback needs coaching.
They all do.
Go back and watch Tom Brady at Michigan.
Oh.
Go back and watch Drew Brees at Purdue.
I remember. Do you remember an old BBS called The War Room? A guy named Gary Horton ran a million years ago.
Yep.
So I remember getting in like a firefight basically over Brady, and I was supporting. I was the Brady supporter, and I said, hey, if everything works out for this kid, you're talking like maybe a less mobile Brad Johnson, or if everything happens perfectly, maybe even Steve Bartkowski. And they killed me. They absolutely killed me, Doug. there was, pitchforks and, lighted,
But every quarterback needs to be coached. And every quarterback needs to be coached all the time.
Yep.
You never get to the top of the mountain as a quarterback.
Yep.
There's always something to work on. There's always something to do.
I still think Mahomes misses Bieniemy a little bit. Because that's the foot in your ass guy.
Mahomes is he was the worst deep passer in the NFL last year. The worst.
I'll be honest. I think he misses. I mean, people keep pointing to the receivers, and that's partially true. But I think he misses Bieniemy, and nobody wants to mention it or admit it or whatever. But Bieniemy, people didn't keep around for his personality.
I think there are structural issues with that passing game that go far beyond having a foot in someone's ass or
No,
I'm going
to agree with you there too. Okay, so I just wrote about this, right? I talked to Ted and Wynn of The Athletic and others. So Vic Fangio, who exposes lots of things to lots of people. I mean, it's not like, and then you give him this ludicrous talent.
Well, it's easy when you can rush 4 and drop 7 on every play.
And sometimes rush 3 and drop 8, and it still gets there. The pass rush still gets there. I agree. Admittedly, I would look like a competent defensive coordinator with that team. I get that. But man, when you take what Fangio does with that talent, that's a tough way to go.
Well, that's like, your 2 rookie DBs pan out. Zach Bond comes in as a special teams guy. Vic sees something in him and now he's a Pro Bowl linebacker.
Yep.
That was like everything hits.
Everything hits. Harry Roseman is a guy you want to ask for lottery numbers from, apparently.
Yeah. I'm going to Vegas with him. But yeah, it's interesting class at all kinds of positions. But yeah, as far as the 3rd quarterback in the 1st round, I would say Dart.
I'm agreeing with you on Dart. Yep.
I'm not like super high on him. Like, is he right under Warden Sanders?
No, there's a
Probably
gap.
not.
There's a gap.
But I like watching him and thinking, well, he'd be interesting.
Right. If I'm the Raiders and I'm trading down, and he's there, and it's the end of the 1st or close to the end of the 1st. I might do it. I still don't think he's a 1st rounder, but I can see somebody saying, what the hell?
Well, and you got the greatest developmental quarterback in the history of football on staff. That doesn't hurt. That Brady guy.
Doesn't hurt. No, you're right. It doesn't hurt. It worked out for that kid. Man, sorry. Once again, thank you. Doug, any more books coming out of you soon? Okay, I won't press further.
There's one that may be expanded.
Oh.
That may be already out, and there's one that may be about 40%.
Well, anything you write, I'll buy.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
We're
thank
gonna
you.
need 3 copies by now.
Really? I'm gonna bother you about that too. I may give them as prizes at the end of the draft, the mock draft to Palooza, which is coming up. But once again, Doug Farrar, you are the best of the best. You're with Athlon now.
Yes, Athlon Sports.
You like it there?
Love it.
Excellent.
Good crew.
I like that you're being treated well, because you deserve to be treated well, Doug.
Good people.
National treasure, Doug Farrar. I'm going to do some more stuff later, but I'm going to do some work. Book.